Welcome to another exciting edition of The Ravens Flock. Welcome one, welcome all here on Saturday, December 21st. And we're just 4 days away from Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
There's ho over here.
Yes.
Jose is literally a Christmas thought.
Yeah, and I'm surrounded by my two fellow hoes who are also going to be enjoying the Yuletide seasons.
Don't tell me what to enjoy.
Welcome to the Ravens Flock, folks. I'm your host, Jose Casabona.
Your ho-ho host.
Yes, I'm also the host of Wrestle Rewind, and I am the founder, executive producer, and content manager of this channel. And on behalf of all of us, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. And joining me on my left is the host of Los Amigos Play, a man who's also feeling the holiday cheer while also trying to do some reparations on his throat, Mr. Angel Mendez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you kindly for taking the time to join us today. And it is, as usual, a joy to have you listen to us as we ramble on and on about whatever is bothering us this week. Sadly, I come down with a case of the seasonal flu, so I'm going to be a bit out of it during this episode. I won't speak nearly as much as I should, but all the same, I will do my best to perform.
It's okay. We're just going to load him up with drugs.
Exactly.
Over-the-counter drugs, which are legal.
Exactly. We have government-approved, doctor-mandated drugs in this cup that I am drinking extremely high amounts of. And as usual, I hope that you enjoy watching the show as much as we enjoy making it for you.
It's called chicken broth.
Yes, indeed. And of course, let's not forget the house of the Black Files, my attack partner for Wrestle Rewind, Amanda puts in the hours behind all the videos on his channel every single week. Much like old Saint Nick when it comes to Christmas, this man is also very hard at work when it comes to our tech, Mr. Juan Arau.
Don't touch me. Thank you for that fine introduction, Jose. Don't you ever forget the mister.
Yay! And
don't touch me.
Much like all our other shows, we are simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications. Leave your questions and comments below. We'll answer as many as we can. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an Inner Flocker. For $4.99 a month, you'll have access to all the perks that comes with our membership. Juan, tell them.
Well, for all the Inner Flockers we got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everyone know that you are here to help rescue the Ravens Flock from the clutches of late-stage capitalism to become full-time streamers. Since 2013, we've been working hard, staying strong, making your voice our mission. The only thing standing in our way is the fact that we have to work 9-to-5 jobs just to keep the lights on. For example, you can see that our lovely ladies of the Starlight Road, like Angel calls them,
They are dead.
No. They're dead tired from work, though. Dragon Fang is just getting off of her job wrangling
Wild
beasts.
animals, also known as children.
Also known as dogs.
Oh no, she's playing the part of the Wicked Witch. She actually lures children into giant gingerbread houses and cooks them alive.
No.
Whoa!
That's the wrong witch.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Angel, listen, I know you only seen like 5 minutes of Wicked, but you have to be able to differentiate your witches here.
All right. But anyway.
It's okay, because like I understand you're not really big into musicals, but just remember there's more than one kind of witch.
Okay, sorry. She plays the other witch, the one that shows up in all the Russian tales and rides on a big wicker basket made of coffee grinders. The one with the 3 horsemen.
See, there you go. Now you've got it right.
Somebody killed her dog and then she killed half of the Russian mafia. It was hilarious.
That's okay. The Russian Mafia had it coming.
They deserve
Folks,
it.
you guys can actually help out over here by subscribing to us, by spreading the word of the Ravens Flock, by letting folks know that we're working hard, making your voice our mission, and that we can use your support. Just spread the word of our channel. Let people know where to follow us, where to subscribe to us. Let them know that they should also have their notifications on for us, and if it's within their means, that they should also go ahead and help donate to the Ravens Flock using our Cash App and PayPal links right here on the chat, because every little bit of cash goes straight back into the channel. We invested in tech. We invested in saving for conventions, a la like how we can't go to Holiday Matsuri. We'll get to that in a
buying
minute.
stronger drugs.
But so that Angel doesn't have freaking seasonal colds and flus or whatever. So, and before you know it, we'll be completely financially independent thanks to you. With your help, we can and will succeed. You also get access to Members First and Members Only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to all of us, the Ravens Flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds, here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your feedback, and your ideas to better shape the future of this channel to suit your tastes and needs. Hey, up in the chat, we got Lisa Boo, and I saw Nikki Bella and Mr. Geek Me Out are in the chat. Hey, up, guys, welcome to the Ravens Flock, and Mr. Geek Me Out is asking, asking where Mrs. Claus at. If you're asking about my Mrs. Claus K-Storm cosplay, she is out with Zayana Rose to pick up Dragon Fang so that we're all able to assemble properly in the spirit of the holidays and the spirit of not having to drive more than like 9 hours just to go to work every day.
Exactly. And you know what? Speaking about the spirit of the holidays, Christmas is nearly here, just 4 days away, as I said earlier. And you know what? You deserve a gift. You deserve a gift for yourself, or if you have any loved ones, you deserve a gift to pass to them. And there's many things that you can give to yourself, but the one thing
Like
that
a cold, like Angel's got.
yeah, but if you want, but conversely, the other gift that you could give to yourself is the gift of vitality. It is the gift of hydration. It is the gift of energy.
Which is why we here at the Ravens Flock are proud to continue being partnered up with our good friends at Glitch Energy. Glitch Energy specially formulated smart energy blend keeps you running strong all day long with 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 calories, 0 lag, and 0 crash. And if you we strongly advise that you find folks at home, go ahead and bookmark the website glitchenergy.com and make sure that you keep an eye on it because you never know when they drop any new flavors for you to choose from in their new smart energy blend.
Or if any returning flavors make their comeback just in time for the holidays.
For instance, if I'm not mistaken, they brought back their two of their fan favorites for the holidays over here. We've got
Elf Candy, and we also have the Grinch Berry.
Grinch. You need to roll that R, Jose.
You're a mean one.
Roll.
Drinking glitch.
Drinking glitch, thank
I
you.
really have the thirst.
But yes,
My
Grinch,
nutrition it is falling and my flavor perseveres, Mr. Glitch.
but
Given
yes,
the choice, I would drink you. But you can't let me put it on the beer.
don't actually put it on the beer.
No,
folks.
don't
It's
put it
not-
alcohol.
Don't
It's
put
bad
it
for
in
you.
beer. Beer is a waste of liquid anyway.
Beer is liquid bread. It's bad for you and it makes you fat.
Exactly.
But folks, Juan is not lying, and Glitch do not lie either. They are very 100% transparent with all of their nutritious facts that's at the back of these labels. And folks, their flavoring is purely awesome. We've said this many times on this channel. If we don't like it, we don't sell it to you.
Yeah, for instance, like you said, this Grinch berry is actually cranberry punch flavoring, and I saw Lisa Boo had said that she's a fan of cranberry. Now I don't know how big you may be on like energy beverages or anything like that, but we strongly recommend that if you want to try this out, give yourself like don't use a full serving for yourself. Just like make it a half a scoop. That way you can measure out exactly how much or how little you may want to use in your usual intake here.
That's right. And folks, if you go onto glitchenergy.com and use our promo code FLOCKFUEL, you will receive a 20% discount on your order. So don't delay. Christmas is 4 days away. Go to glitchenergy.com. Get yourself a tub right now and enjoy the spectacular flavors for the holidays.
That's right. Now, my friends,
And once again, we want to thank Glitch Energy for partnering up with the Ravens Flock. You guys have been amazing, and thank you very much.
And thank you for not putting us on your naughty list.
now,
Yeah.
my friends, speaking of naughty and nice, the year is about to end. We've gone through a lot of stuff, good stuff and bad stuff, and we got a lot of good and bad stuff to look forward to. But I'd like to take a chance to step away from my usual position in this kind of... I would positively call myself a realist, but I will not deny that in sometimes the cruel, cold claws of cynicism have grabbed a hold of my heart more than once. It happens to the best of us. However, I believe that starting next year, we can look up at the sky and experience a small glimmer of hope. Not because of the birds, not because of the planes, but because I like to think that there is somebody out there who still cares for the little guy like you and I. Well, not so little in your case, you're fucking massive. I like to think that we have to look forward to something good when we sit down and we watch movies and TVs, because sometimes you want something that inspires hope and positivity. Sometimes you just want something that's pretty super. Isn't that right, man?
That's right, and we want to give a huge shout out to the returning 90s blimp that's floating in the sky advertising 1-800-COLLECT. Oh my god, I remember that blimp!
I know, shoot
No.
it down. Shoot it down right now.
No. Dying to fire. No, guys, we're actually talking about what actually matters over here, folks. And this is something that I'm honestly surprised hasn't already hit 1 million views yet. We're talking about yesterday, December 20th, Warner Brothers Pictures went ahead and dropped the official teaser to the brand new Superman.
Super.
That's right. Now, for obviously reasons, we can't play the trailer here because YouTube be YouTube.
Oh, well, we can do
We can play it
this.
in
Like, we can
silence.
play it in silence over here, and as long as we're not going banana balls with their music.
Now, needless
Yeah,
to say,
in other words, keep it muted.
there has been somewhat of a contended reaction to Superman ever since the very divisive Man of Steel and Justice League movies. And after James Gunn was shown to be the one that was going to be directing the next film, there was a bit of a questioning whether his style could work for such a larger-than-life character as Superman. Now, the man has gone out of his way to explain that he's trying to do his best to pay tribute to the character and to, in his own words, represent the idea of somebody who believes in the inherent goodness of nature. And I don't know you, but that did a lot to win me over on that one. And
Also-
then came the teaser trailer.
Also, up in the chat, Ben Cruz and the Joseph Santos, by the way, guys. I saw the Joseph Santos saying, every bottle of glitch goes to getting Superman an education. Maybe he'll finally solve a children's maze from Denny's. Superman took glitch and learned to tie his shoes. If it works for him, imagine what it can do for a working brain.
Exactly.
Ow, wow. Hi, Lisa. Let's see here. Mr. Glitch has a good ring to it. Yep. And I miss Hallman. Yeah, no, go figure here, Ben Cruz. So do we.
We miss Home too, buddy, but we will be back next year.
I think you're jumping the gun there a little bit, Joseph.
He's saying Man of Steel has a better soundtrack.
Well, yeah, because that one actually came out. Let's wait a little bit until this film actually comes out. 'Cause
Remember, we can't play the audio.
I don't know you, but okay, so not so quite spoilers. This teaser has a remix orchestral version of.
Oh, it's not orchestral. It's got a fucking
the rock-
Bruce
the rock-
Springsteen, Jimi Hendrix style
Thank you.
fucking.
The Jimi Hendrix version of the original. I gotta give props to them though. They did a good job with the casting because they filled the whole scene with extras that are shorter than him. But this dude is like 6'4" in real life. He's a
Yeah.
fucking giant.
Yes, David Cornsweat, the young man who's filling up the blue tights here. But more importantly than him is someone else who's filling in for the very first time on the big screen in live action. The bestest boy in all of comics and superhero dumbs.
It begins.
Yeah!
Crypto, the super dog.
Yeah.
Rough and away.
I love how he looks like every dog you ever had. Yes, even you.
Crypto is the Kryptonian dog of Superman,
This is the
and a good boy.
This is the only crypto that we at the Ravens flock love. Fuck cryptocurrency. Fuck crypto AI art. Fuck that bullshit. But this good boy, I've only known him for 10 minutes, and already I would kill everything and everyone in the world along with myself if anything were to happen to him.
See, this fills me with a bit of positivity on this case, because despite my reservations over another Superman movie with somewhat questionable casting in some aspects, the fact that they're willing to go like, no, we're going comic-ass comic book. We got the super dog with the super cape, and we're saving the children.
Yay!
It's also, we have the boldest man who ever lived.
Nicholas Holt playing Lex Luthor.
He really does look like a younger Luthor. I like it.
Yeah, and he looks like a younger Lex Luthor that isn't a spastic idiot. So sorry about that.
He doesn't.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a live human version of Roger Rabbit.
No, he's a real beast, to be perfectly honest. That's Nicholas Holt, by the way, folks, if you didn't get my joke. That's the guy who played young Beast in the X-Men movies.
Hey, I'd rather take him over the guy who invented Facebook.
Yeah, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking
Also,
Mark Zuckerberg.
the funniest part is that Mark Zuckerberg is on his way to becoming a real human being in real life now, so that portrayal has become outdated, if only by accident.
That being said, as spectacular as this trailer is, I'm not surprised if the fans of Superman, especially the ones who are disenfranchised thanks to the Zack Snyderverse, are watching this under a lot of scrutiny.
Oh, it's already happening. I already seen the usual social media accounts posting the comparisons and complaining that the suit doesn't look good enough.
Oh, Ben Cruz is asking, where are the girls? Where is Zayana Rose and Dragonfang? They
Well,
are
you
on
see,
their way.
They are dead.
No, they're not dead. They're dead tired.
They are dead spiritually. Sometimes I can still hear her voice.
Let me take a look
I
over
don't know
here.
if that's a good thing.
Also, Matthew Coburn is in the chat. Hey up, Matthew Coburn. Welcome to the Ravens. Like I said, you should check out the trailer to Death of a Unicorn. It looks awesome. I'll show you guys when we're done over here. Let me just put it this way. Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega,
Okay.
dark comedy,
All right.
allegory about exploitation of our natural resources.
I can work with this.
Hey.
I can work with this.
You'll see it and you'll love it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me see. Crypto uses cryptocurrency. Has his face on it. Yeah. Well, we will take Crypto the Super Dogs as cryptocurrency any day. You know why? Because you can exchange it for Scooby snacks.
That's actually worthwhile something.
See?
Now, Matthew Coburn also commented saying the Snyder Bros does whatever Snyder Bros does. Can they spin a web? Yes, they can. A web of why? Yeah, okay.
It's Spider Bros, Snyder Bros
Oh,
does whatever
okay.
a Snyder
Now,
Bros does.
hang on,
Can
Angel?
they spin a web?
Gunn himself did a commentary on the actual teaser explaining why he portrayed the way he did. He wanted to show that Superman wasn't, completely invincible in this particular movie. That's why we see him injured. But in his own words, he said, this is supposed to be a representation of the American dream as Superman would be in this time. He is wounded, he's been beaten, he is damaged, but he still tries to fight again because that's what it means to be Superman. He genuinely wants to put the idea of, no, this is not an invincible Superman. We're dialing him down to like Justice League levels, maybe, I guess.
No. You know what? You bring up an interesting point. I'm going to do a little reference here. Even in Superman Returns, that came out in 2007, and in the Snyder movies of featuring Superman, they always portrayed him like super OP powered. And now this time, they're actually powering him down to make him a little bit more vulnerable, which is good.
It works. It's like the animated series where, he still was borderline invincible, but he could still be hurt and knocked around and threatened by certain enemies and highly advanced technology.
Right.
So it works to put a bit of tension in that he's not completely unstoppable. But he gets back up and tries again because that's what it means to fight for, justice, freedom,
Truth, justice, and the American
way.
I'll even argue that the latest anime of My Adventures with Superman, which is on Toonami every Saturday night, they got the formula right.
They got some of the formula right, at least.
Yeah.
At the very least, they've got the idea of Clark Kent is a giant goober with a heart of gold, and he's also the most powerful creature in the universe.
I also noticed how with the trailer they did that thing where his civilian identity purposely walks hunched. They took that straight from Mr. Reeves. You know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So
let
you're
me,
gonna see the moment where he straightens the fuck up. When he locks in, look at that! Look at that massive tower of a human being, and he's purposely hunching his back. Look at him a little further. Wait a second. Okay, no, that
All right, you would have to go a little further into the trailer.
That's too much hunch. Yeah, it's a little further ahead.
Further ahead.
Oh, further ahead.
Go back. There it is.
Okay, so here, and of course, Lois Lane.
Lois Lane.
Gotta love Lois.
Right, look at him.
Yeah, there's...
Turns around. Notice that he's not straightened. He's purposely trying to downplay himself.
Yeah.
It works body language is very important when it comes to Clark Kent. Also, props to the guys on social media who are going, man, I was hoping for a Superman movie. Why is all the camera looking at this Clark Kent? Who the fuck is Clark Kent? Who the fuck is this guy?
Wow.
Okay, at least that kind of joshing I can get behind because, LOL, we're playing into it.
Now, of course, this brings the question of what exactly could put the big blue boy scout in such dire straits?
Well, we haven't seen any reveals of the villains yet, except for Lex Luthor. We haven't seen
What do
any.
you mean? Lex Luthor built half of this goddamn city. You watch your mouth. You wish you could work for Mr. Luthor.
There's one little piece of commentary that I want to pull up over here. I'm going to get back to it. It was actually something I've...
Luthor Corp.
All right, listen. We haven't seen General Zod.
Thankfully, not yet.
Okay, check this. Here we have, we have this little kid who is... in the middle of a battlefield of some kind.
Some sort of Eastern country, maybe?
Yeah, some Middle Eastern country over here. You see people running away for their lives. And this child is praying for Superman. This child put up a flag for Superman. Now, you may recall back in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, aka the $2 billion flop of a Batman Superman movie.
What do you mean? That was the most expensive recreation of the Passion of the Christ I ever seen.
Okay, that's exactly the point I was going to get to. Here's what's up. When you have a similar scene in their trailer of someone is calling for Superman using his sigil and they're reaching out for him. In the Snyder version, they frame it all as if like this is big God, heavenly creature looking down at everyone praying up to him. You are our God.
Yeah, they play this whole montage of Superman being the savior, and they have like commentary of talking about it.
No, I'm not even talking about the commentary. I'm just talking about that
when he was rescuing the people
iconography.
in the flooded house.
Exactly. I'm just talking about that iconography of someone's in danger, they're calling for Superman, and it shows him arriving and they're praying to him in religious adoration. Here, instead, we've got a child from their point of view calling for Superman, calling for help, and we don't see whether or not if he can make it.
Yeah.
Instead, we see a child holding on to hope for Superman to hear his call. It's not like you can shit on me for this all you want, but one of the big things that Zack Snyder loves is he loves making all his men look like fucking demigods a la 300 because he never got past himself in that from that year.
Everybody has to be a Giga Chad.
Not just a Giga Chad, but everyone has to be a god, a super figure that must be
Larger than
above
life.
all.
Too much larger than life.
Too much larger than life. Here we have the man part of Superman emphasized.
That's pretty super.
I was gonna say before you cut me off, don't forget a wasted cameo from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I'm sorry, who? Oh yeah. Neil deGrasse
exactly.
Tyson. Well, here's the thing. That was just a paid cameo.
I think
I
that's
was just like, hey, at least he got money out of it.
The main difference between the trailers, and mind you, this is just personal opinion here. While the actual Batman vs Superman movie seems to emphasize the possible fear and distrust of the people over a godlike man doing,
Godlike things.
You have Superman basically doing obviously good things, rescuing people, stopping disasters, while the scientists and the reporters question why a person like that would do it. Here, it seems to go on the lines of, no, he's just a good man trying to do a good thing. We don't see anybody trying to question it, except for that clip later that we see that the people are angry at him for some reason. Probably something to do with international conflicts, or who knows? Like, we don't know the context of this.
Why would you throw a can at Superman's head?
Because they can get away with it.
And even here, you see the cops, they're not trying to harass Superman.
They're like, no, stop bothering the Man of Steel, please.
Exactly.
Like, this is harassment. Like, something happened here that turns public opinion against him. Either he fails at doing something, or he gets involved into some international shit. We don't know. But it's clearly about the struggle. According to Gunn, he's been in Earth for like a year or so. He's been Superman for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So something happens that turns opinion against him, or maybe people already didn't trust him, and, something breaks the camel's back. We don't know yet. But the implication is that Superman is trying to essentially, according to what he said, he's trying to compromise the greatness of the ideal he's trying to live up to with the fact that he's still just a man at the end. He only has so much to do. He can only be in so many places at once.
Which is why it's good to know that this Man of Steel, to a degree, he is not alone. He has some pretty super friends with him.
Yeah.
They're in a league of their own, if you would.
Hello, my name is Gal Gardner, and I have the biggest dick in the entire 50-mile radius.
Like here? Boom!
Look at that son bitch. He looks ugly as fuck. I love him.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern.
He looks
complete
like...
with shit-eating grin smirk
and the ugliest bowl cut
the ugliest bowl cut in the history of mankind.
It's
also, you
perfect.
see behind him Hawkgirl. I forget who's
perfect.
playing Hawkgirl. Give me a minute. I'm gonna do a thing.
Yeah, go right ahead. But yeah, no, that bold command, that looks like it belongs in the 70s.
Fun little fact.
That's the joke.
Do you remember that time?
That's the beautiful joke.
Remember the iconic moment where Batman punched Kyle Gardner in the face, the one punch panel?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you know that Kyle actually got him back for that later?
Oh, did he?
He mooned him in front of the entire Justice League by literally dragging his ass on the window of the Justice Tower.
Damn.
Right to his face. After getting his goat for something completely... Listen, one beautiful Kyle Gardner, he's one of the best Green Lanterns out there, but he is a very classical anti-hero in that he's an extremely flawed man. Okay, you know what...
You can't tell me what to do.
Basically.
I'm the one chosen, and I've got the will to make it happen.
That's
and
the-
anyone who gets in my way is going down.
That's pretty much it. You know how the Green Lanterns work on willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Well, one aspect of willpower means courage. And unfortunately for his own good, Kyle has a little too much courage. He's extremely argumentative, confrontational, never backs down, only seems to respond to... Basically, the dude has an habit of flying right over the edge with being too hot-blooded for his own good. Make no mistake, he's a good man. He's a hero. He will always try to do the right thing, but he's the kind of hero that... the best way I can describe Kyle Gardner is, he's a steam locomotive. He's slow to start, but he's nearly impossible to stop and outright impossible to steer.
He's basically like he's a loose cannon kind of like okay.
Yeah.
He's okay. You were mentioning the 70s. You know what else was really hot in the 70s back then?
Would it be Richard Nixon?
No.
Well, yes, but no.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm
Whomst.
joking.
No. He can die.
Whomst.
Clint Eastwood, baby.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
That's him dirty harrying.
He's there. He's green.
Except, of course,
Green
with the
Harry.
shit-eating bowl-cut hair of Doom.
No, it's perfect. They even kept the same color of his jacket, and
Okay.
sometimes it left him to do some very questionable decisions. But he's still a good man somewhere down there.
He is a good man.
Way
There's
deep
nothing
down.
wrong with that.
But it works
and,
because Kyle is a complete jackass at times.
And what's her name? We see Hawk Girl over here in the back. That would be a young lady by the name of Isabella Merced.
Another extreme anti-hero, especially when you remember her backstory. I wonder if they'll do something with that for this. You know, maybe throw a little hint of the Tamaranian problems coming in the background.
No, Tamaranians, that's...
Sorry, that's Starfire.
That's
Yeah, that's
Starfire.
Who are these guys? The hot people?
Shit. I don't remember. Hang on. I'm trying to remember the
while
name.
you're doing that, nevertheless, a spectacular surprise teaser
Don't-
trailer.
It's not done yet.
And no, I know it's not done.
I mean, look, we've got a kaiju. Okay.
Oh yeah.
there-
Also,
a couple of
Superman
kaijus. Look,
fighting monsters and saving the day. Guys, listen. I know I like to mention this a lot, but
Angel likes his giant monsters.
no, not just that. This might be the one Superman movie after all these years where we just get the montage of him just doing everyday good things. People don't understand how important that is for Superman. The idea is that he's... I forgot which comic book author said this, but they're like... The idea behind Superman is that the extraordinary things that we see to him are his regular 9 to 5.
I'm
Targaryens.
There we go. Yeah, Jesus Christ. And she's the Kendra Saunders version of
Thank you.
Hawk Girl.
So I
Who
forgot
is,
which author
Latin
said
American.
this, but the idea is that Superman's everyday adventures are his everyday adventures. Like, for example, the idea is that what happens to him is what happens to the likes of you and I, except on a grand cosmic scale. So, for example, he has his own man cave, except for him is the Fortress of Solitude. He has to deal with uncomfortable family visits, except for him
It's General Zod.
He has to deal with problems with traffic, except for him, it's a kaiju he needs to punch in the face. The idea is that, as opposed to Batman, who is the dark, brooding knight that exists in the darkness of the justice and all that just, Superman's life as Superman is literally the 9 to 5. Except blown up to a cosmic, ridiculous idea. What does he like to do? He likes to hang out with his friends. He likes to go out with his girlfriend. He likes to play with his dog. On the moon.
On the moon.
Unfortunately, unfortunately we didn't. That's something that we never got from Man of Steel because we got so much background information on a character whose personality wasn't given time to develop.
Everybody was too busy feeling sorry for themselves. No, my invincible son, do not protect me from the tornado.
The
most we got out of Man of Steel.
You need to understand. You need to understand something. Russell Crowe said you would be a god to them all. There's nothing for you to be angsty over. Angst, Father. Why? Angst from a god, angst.
Hey, don't forget that part when
godly angst. I am Jesus, God, angst.
Maybe if he had let those kids drown in the lake, he would have been...
Stinks.
Ironically, the comic books immediately after that movie came out, they had a comic book issue of Superman as a child saving the bus and going, "Did I do the right thing?" And Papa Kent goes, "Of course
you
the
did."
right thing."
Yeah. Now that being said, the Superman, as far as the Superman movies are concerned, it's had a very, very up and down history.
It's been a rocky, bumpy ride, let's just say.
And let's not pretend, folks, like the Christopher Reeves movies were all box office super hits when they came out. Everyone shat on Superman 3 because Richard Pryor was too goofy, and the plot didn't make much sense.
Sadly, they
Superman,
went to Silver Age.
And Superman 4 was the worst Superman in the collection.
Of the Reeve era.
Nuclear nails.
Actually, yeah. Here's the funny thing.
Are you defending
this is what I'm doing. The story made better sense, but the budget was cut in half. So everything looked a little dumber, and this was more of a Christopher Reeve passion project kind of thing. Because hey, you know what would be a good thing
if I destroyed all the nukes.
If we ended the Cold War.
I mean, to be fair, it would have been a good thing at the end of the Cold War, but I digress.
Joke's on you. Rocky Balboa already did it first.
I thought Hulk Hogan did that. He body slammed Andre the Giant and then won the Cold War.
Well, no, because Rocky Balboa, he knocked out Ivan Drago and won the Cold War.
But here we have Superman and Christopher Reeve ending the Cold War.
Ha! That's funny. Next thing you're going to tell me is that Ozymandias of the Watchmen ended the Cold War.
Well, he ended something, all right. Now, I won't deny, I did have my reservations about this, mostly because the introduction of the rest of the Justice League as the secondary characters in the movie kind of worried me a little bit. But
Big
you know what?
space monster thingy.
But you know
here's
what?
Quit pausing.
I
have
liked
to keep-
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why?
1, 2, and 3. I had my reservations with a couple of them, but they were pretty good, and it proved to me that Gunn can work with a large cast of characters to a certain extent. So, as long as he doesn't bloat the cast too much with all the characters, keep the league to like the basic 7 if you can. Hell, Martian Manhunter doesn't show up until like episode 5 of the original Justice League, so leave him for later if you want to. We don't need like the Green Man yet. As long as we can keep the cast tight, the relationships believable, and make a good Superman, that's the most important, man. Just nail a good Superman and his super dog. We should be fine. And I like to hope what it could be fine, because I watched Superman and Lois, and for the most part, they got it pretty well.
They got it done pretty damn well, yeah.
By the way, it ended very, very beautiful, bittersweet ending, but it worked pretty good.
Oh, also robots.
Also, the Fortress of Crack Crystals.
Yeah.
Of crack rocks. Also, Superman mourning the death of a robot.
Which,
Do robots dream of electric sheep?
For the
Oh,
record,
God.
those
No, but-
robots are not supposed to be sentient in most continuities, but in some of them, they are their own AIs. Very advanced AIs.
There's a big Crystal Fortress of Solitude.
Who the
there's
fuck is that?
dude?
That dude is apparently supposed to be Metamorpho, who is
Okay.
Superman, who's a DC character.
Yeah, he's... Okay, no,
Ah!
I noticed the purple...
Oh, holy shit, Luthor!
He's crying.
Damn, dude!
He's incredibly angry or upset about something.
At least he looks more convincing than the Snyder Luthor.
Yeah, well, to be fair, though.
Also,
Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
Who the
Well,
hell
that's
is that?
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific looks great.
Hey, let's go.
I was
Speaking of things that look great, here are the ladies everyone was asking
Hello.
for.
I was afraid that we're going to try to modernize some of the
in
designs,
here.
but no, they have been very accurate to the characters. I'm happy for that, because
hang on.
That means that
all
they
right.
have...
We have
for
Dragon Fang and Zayana Rose cosplay made it.
It's cold outside.
And Storm
Where's Anna?
and Dragon Fang.
Dragon.
Please, not too loud. My head is pounding.
Yes, let's keep our
Guys, it's so cold outside.
I know, it's great. I love it.
They're cold.
outside.
It is cold. Let us refrain from shouting.
Now, as I said,
Never.
one of the reasons why I'm willing to hold some hope about this
Right,
is
you go
because
change,
they're
Dragon
willing
Fang.
to be accurate. I was afraid they were going to modernize the designs. You know how they always do in these movies. They always try to make everything slicker and put lines on everything. But no, Kyle Gardner is dressed like Kyle Gardner. Mr.
Guy
Terrific
Gardner.
is dressed like Mr. Terrific. Right down to the big old black tee on his face and the afro and the jacket. And everybody looks exactly how I hoped they would. And that's what gives me hope. I know. Maybe
What
I'm being
is-
taken
what are
in
we
by the
talking about?
visuals.
Well,
We're
you're a
talking about
passionate Spider-Man,
Superman here,
Superman
Zay.
fan.
Yeah, I really want them to
Never
get
got
the
too much into
characters
it.
right. If they can do that, I can forgive a lot of dumb shit as long as they can get the characters right.
Yeah, no. Hopefully it does. I mean, even if the road to do it takes about longer than the trip to Albuquerque or whatever. The point is, I'm also cautiously optimistic, and I hope they do get it right. As much as I love the Man of Steel for all the fights that he had, which is something that
They're basically
Walking in front of you.
fighting Kryptonians. Yes, I know.
no, basically the entire movie was. Meh, meh. What the fuck just happened with the camera? K-Storm,
We lose.
please move.
Moving.
It appears that we have frozen
Hang on.
today. Oh, there we go.
There
no,
we go.
No, that's this camera I'm worried about. Give me a minute.
K-Storm, the gravitational pull of your massive buttocks has destroyed this camera again. How
Give me a minute, K-Storm.
Please bear with
I
us,
have to
folks. We're
fix
having a
shit.
small technical issue. It happens.
Yes,
Thank you, honey.
We good?
but it's okay. In the
Good
meantime,
enough.
they can see us through this camera.
Okay,
So,
good enough. Now, base-wise,
Your
though,
stuff is fine.
Joe, do you have any reservations? Was there something about this that worried you or made you feel like, oh man, what if they fuck this up?
I'm honestly with the people who are watching this with scrutiny. I'm very, very cautiously optimistic about this because there's been so many attempts to try to capture the spirit of the Man of Steel, of the big boy in blue. But
Big Blue Boy Scout, get it right.
Shouting.
No, never. I will not stop. I will be emphatically optimistic if you're going to be cautiously
You're
optimistic.
approaching my zone of germ infection. It's going to expand.
It's my house.
slowly.
They're my germs. By
Slowly
skin.
expanding. I'm
Know
going to
your
colonize your atmosphere.
But yes, I am one of the people who is cautiously optimistic because of how many times they fumbled the ball with Superman.
Fair enough. What about,
AKA with Snyder. Here,
what
first
about
off,
yourself,
Not
Mr.
just with
Ravis?
Snyder, but also with Bryan Singer.
That too.
okay, first off, you guys were rude. We didn't get to properly introduce Zayana Rose cosplay. Into
Also,
the-
she
into the video.
exists there,
See?
introduced.
Wow. Rude. You know
Idiots.
what? You guys are really lucky that I have coffee.
I know, I'm abusing your goodwill relentlessly. I
Listen.
will feel sorry about this and apologize in the morning.
Listen,
probably.
you're lucky I don't unscrew this right now.
Well, but that would waste your delicious caffeine, and you wouldn't do that, would you?
Now here's
Addict.
says the man who stayed up until like 2
I
a.m.
never
playing
claimed
Marvel
to be a
Legends.
clean man.
Yeah, you know, you're not in your 20s anymore.
I know, which means I gotta die faster. Time
Well,
to
here's the
speedrun
thing.
this shit.
Maybe
Where's the
if
hard
you
drugs at?
actually partake in the thing called caffeine,
Nah.
you'll be actually to, you know, be normal.
No, I don't
like
work
me,
like
I
that.
can stay up very
take the-
late and
no,
then
no.
I have caffeine.
I don't trust caffeine. I take the safe substances like mescaline, PCP, cocaine, and a
No,
whole
he
rainbow
doesn't.
of uppers,
For the
downers,
record,
screamers,
people,
laughers.
All right,
doesn't
guys,
And of course,
we're getting off
half
track.
a bottle of
He
ether,
really
3/4
doesn't
of
do any of
tequila.
this stuff
Mute
at
him.
all.
Angel.
And
I
then I,
wish
heard
I
a
could.
noise, like a big explosion. And there were all these bats in the sky.
Oh my God, we're getting off track here. Let's talk about Superman.
Okay. Oh, now I'm allowed to talk. This is
Yes.
awesome. Okay, first off, Mr. Quake, a lot of stuff that you're saying. I'm shocked the guy like the weird guy like James Gunn understands Superman.
Don't
I'm
be
not.
surprised. Look at his previous work in Guardians of the Galaxy. For all the comedy, he knows when to do some hard-hitting drama and character study.
On
He
Jasmine
really can pull it
Lantern.
off. You just gotta give him time to work on what he's
We
doing.
need a bologna burger. Richard Pryor is awesome. DCAU Superman is cool. Animated, yeah. I used him to do weird stuff like Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a banger. Halle Bailey did both Marvel and DC. Wait, what? Oh, Halle Berry? I don't know.
Everyone hated Superman Returns.
That's true. Let's see. Geek Out Agree. My Adventures with Superman is awesome. That's cool. Miss you guys. Hope you enjoy the Sonic movie.
Ben,
We did.
Ben,
Ben?
you have no idea how loud I screamed.
For the record,
So fucking good. Everyone should go and watch it right now.
For the record, Mr.
Ben Cruz.
Mr. Quake, it is because Gunn does weird stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad that I believe he can do Superman. Because, guys, Superman is fucking weird. The amount of weird enemies, friends, allies, and bizarre fucked up adventures he gets into. Like, okay, listen. People treat Superman like the Mickey Mouse of superheroes. You know, like he's some sort of baseline of normality. No. Superman got into some really weird stuff back in the heyday. And even in recent comics, he gets into weird stuff. He has a more grounded approach, I know, crazy, to some concepts. But this is the dude that had Mr. McSpilther.
Mixes Pitlick.
You know, the parrot from Aladdin.
Yeah, Mixes Pitlick.
Yeah, like he had Mrs. Pitlick. So, and that is not even one of the strangest like opponents / antagonists he had to deal with. Superman deals with weird shit on a daily basis.
Yes.
And also one of the best things of it is the fact
Thank you.
is the fact that Superman gets put into the most impossible and ridiculous situations of all time. For example, Superman was once in a fight against Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Guess who won?
Muhammad, of course.
Yeah,
It was an
Muhammad
exhibition
Ali
match.
won.
To be fair, though, they were fighting in a special stage flooded with red lights, so they were back to base human-like form.
Yeah, like basically Superman, he was depowered that way. It was like, okay, it's
It
straight
was an
one-on-one
exhibition
fight.
match.
It's a fair fight. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I thought that people always said that even depowered Superman will kick ass.
Well,
he
Is that,
does.
is that not true?
Well,
He
he's still a 6.4 massive dude from Kansas, but
He's
Muhammad
no-
Ali is one of the best boxers in the world. So in an actual ring, in a 1-to-1 sports, obviously
Muhammad Ali
Muhammad
still
has more
beats him.
experience.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
And why is it that people said that depowered Superman would still kick Goku's butt?
Well,
What the hell?
No, not really.
Yeah.
wait, who said that?
No, that's dumb.
Online.
No, Goku
Okay.
is a martial artist
It's
by
called-
excellence.
It's
He
called
would
Death
win in that.
Battle.
I
Superman
know.
Here's-
Well,
Okay,
Death
here
Battle
is
different.
the lovely and resurrected Dragon Fang cosplay.
Resurrected.
Even she was
She's
there.
dead inside.
Yeah, well,
You kidding
according to
me?
Angel Mendez, you have been
What?
presumed dead.
Yeah, that one time you got Legma and it was terrible. We buried you. I said a beautiful speech at your wake. I'm surprised
This
you
is
don't
why
remember.
we don't let Angel
I'm
talk
gonna
all the
murder
time.
you.
Not today. At least say something nice at my wake, jerk.
I've been working.
It's okay.
But yeah,
It's okay.
I'm so tired.
You were a monster hunter
Hang
today,
there.
Yeah. But getting
and
back,
it was wild.
No, Monster Tamer.
Monster Tamer.
I almost got my shoulder dislocated.
Rottweiler. Rottweiler.
well, we'll talk about that later. But nevertheless, despite my skepticisms, the trailer looks great. It looks like they're going with a different direction with Superman, and I'm gonna watch it. It comes out in July 11th, 7-Eleven. What? Okay, so we're gonna look for 7-Eleven commercials advertising Superman,
Well,
right?
when you think about it, what is more American than gas stations everywhere?
With Slurpees.
Exactly.
Slurpees.
Red, white, and blue Slurpees.
Exactly. No. Red, yellow, and blue. Primary
Thank
colors.
you. Thank you.
Remember that.
So we're gonna have blueberry, lemon, and like
Unless
raspberry.
if you're a bad guy, like Lex Luthor, and you have a kryptonite
Hey guys, that's the
Slurpee.
Yamcha
Green
pose.
Slurpee.
That's the Yamcha pose.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh my god! Oh my
Wait,
god!
did you guys not know that?
I know. I saw some post about
That
it,
that
but
is Yamcha.
I saw a picture of
Oh my
that, and I was
God.
like, I was like, isn't that the Yamcha pose? And then someone said,
Considering
it's the
Yamcha
Yamcha
pose.
pose. I was like, called it.
fun fact: Yamcha in Super saved the universe with baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty fucking wild.
That's
So-
pretty awesome.
So just like Superman, he went down, but then he got back up again. So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a Superman that struggles, fails, and then gets right back
And
up to fight
Yamcha'd?
again.
Yeah,
Actually,
we don't
yes,
need.
we got Yamcha.
Yeah, we're finally gonna get a Superman that is not treated like they're Jesus,
And God and,
they're
Jesus
not-
and angst.
and they're not overpowered.
and that they're so angsty and sad over the fact that they're gods.
Remember the
Oh,
iconic
he
No,
loves
they're
words.
not a
Queen.
Gary
Look-
Stew.
Exactly.
Remember the iconic words of the animated series. The world sometimes doesn't need a Superman; it just needs a good one, and a good one sometimes is all Mr. Clark needs to be.
Exactly.
Also, I want to know what exactly has Lex Luthor so fucking molding that he's crying tears of rage.
Right?
Mr. Luthor, they skibbited your toilet.
Oh, why you gotta put that in? Oh no.
Okay, so you know Skibbity Toilet, but you don't know the Kendrick Lamar mustard meme?
To be fair,
How
those,
dare you.
those are in the complete opposite poles of the internet world.
There really aren't.
All right. So yeah, what do you guys think of the new Superman trailer? Let us know in the live chat right now your thoughts.
Yes, are you cautiously optimistic? Are you ferociously optimistic? Are you nonplussed? Or
Are
do
you
have some-
feral?
or are you having some other opinion? Also, K-Storm, hi, welcome.
Hi, I have one word.
Go for it.
Waiting. Crypto!
Crypto!
I probably would only watch it for crypto.
Crypto!
I'm sorry, but if there is
Super
an animal,
All I
everything
want-
else.
Check 'em.
All I want is a montage. Give me the montage.
Of crypto?
No, of Superman just doing good shit around the city. I want to see that son of a bitch literally pick up cats from trees for old ladies. We earned this. Ow, I need to use the bathroom. Excuse me.
Go right ahead. But that being said, yeah, folks, let us know in the live chat. That being said, if you are anti-canine or anti-crypto, we will block you.
No,
No, we won't block you.
and Crypto the super dog he means.
Look, he's such
But
a
I
good
won't. But I will be
boy!
judging you harshly.
There's Mr. Terrific here, who's what's up?
You missed the good boy.
Oh no, here we
No,
I can
I've seen the trailer.
we can show you the good boy once more. See, here he comes running to his human, or rather to his master, to his
He's so cute.
take me home.
There's a slow mo. Yep, Superman saving a citizen.
Dun, 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 dun.
Show the good boy.
Lex Luthor. No, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up.
Good boy. Good boy. Good
So
Super-
Superman breaking out.
There's a
People
kid.
in a war zone. A child calling for Superman.
People turning on him for reasons.
Mhm.
And then there's
A-Team
Nathan.
Justice League. Okay, there's Hawkgirl, Guy Gardner. There's the thing
Some
again.
weird thing.
Lois and Clark.
Robot. Fortress of Solitude. Weird guy.
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho. Superman pushing. Crypto! Hey!
As you can tell, if
The
you
goodest boy.
the goodest, bestest boy here.
He's gonna steal the movie.
Oh, absolutely. Superman, you mean crypto?
Obviously, this Superman movie looks like it's gonna be really awesome. It's gonna be really fun.
It's
and
much
we're-
more,
Heartfelt.
yes, heartfelt. That's the one I was
Heartfelt.
looking for.
Exactly. Now, that being said, man, it's gonna be weird to try and pivot over to the next story because
Well, we're gonna talk spoiler. Or we're not gonna talk.
Not spoiler, but we'll talk about Sonic.
Scene.
Sonic, edgy hedgy. Team Shadow. Team Shadow.
Team
I'm
Shadow.
not. I'm wearing blue today, but Team Shadow.
Team Shadow.
Always Team Shadow.
yeah.
Well, I'm over. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, we actually, because we never got around to putting up the post on it. Last night, we managed to get our hands on tickets to see Sonic the Hedgehog 3, starring Jim Carrey,
Bless him. Bless him.
Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, Ben Schwartz, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, Jim Carrey,
James
Marsters,
Marsden.
and Jim Carrey.
James Marsden.
And don't forget
Marsden.
Jim
Marsden.
Carrey.
It's almost like our name.
Marsden. Yeah.
And don't forget Jim Carrey.
Again,
and
Jim Carrey.
Holy crap! Zayana Rose, Dragon Fang. You never told me y'all were related to Cyclops from the
They're
X-Men.
not.
No.
Two
No.
mutants?
No, but I mean, we met him.
Yeah.
We met him, and he just like, oh
wanted
my
to
gosh,
adopt
you're
us.
twins.
He wanted to adopt us.
He did. He was like, our names are similar. You're adopted into the family. It was
And then his-
hilarious.
and then
he
his dog-
remembered us too.
And then his dog is like, "That's my human." But anyways, but nevertheless, yeah, we saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3 last night. Without giving away any spoilers,
It was amazing. It was everything we were hoping it
We
would
were
be.
screaming.
And more. Oh yes, there was solidarity in the audience. Oh my gosh, literally. When we saw a certain thing, not gonna say, but we saw a certain thing, the entire audience just went screaming. We were going, wow!
Nuts.
yeah,
it
no.
was so
Okay,
good.
all right,
When the
let's keep the
spoiler went
all right, let's
down-
keep the shouting down since Angel's
When the
back.
spoiler spur went down,
Okay, we're
we all
gonna
lost
do
our
a brief
motherfucking mind.
spoiler-free review of the movie that we enjoyed, our impressions of the film.
It was great.
It's
Jim Carrey did steal the show, though.
First off, Jim Carrey is not fucking retiring from this. I guarantee you. I promise
Listen,
you. Some
what they're
way,
gonna do is they're gonna bring another script made of golden ink.
He's gonna be like, I decided, after taking a long look at
He's like,
myself,
I'm retired now. They come back.
and the
but
18-wheeler
this-
full of cash that they rolled up to my mansion, I got one more in me. No spoilers, but okay.
He had
Jim
fun.
Carrey is notoriously
He stole the show.
notorious for never doing sequels. He doesn't like doing sequels. He's just not fond of coming back and doing it again. The fact that he's done this for 3 movies in a row, and the best part is though, you guys notice this, but in every single movie, he looks more and more like actual Eggman.
Yes,
just
yes, he does. He is
In
Eggman
the
at this
first
point.
film, he was dressed mostly in black. He only puts on the red suit near
He looked
the end.
eloquent.
And it was what do you call it? And it was like all like modern, sleek,
Yeah,
and like yes,
smart.
I'm the man.
You
Second
can
me-
see him slowly starting to lose his
Second
mind.
movie, he gains a bit of weight. He goes bald. He puts on the red threads, and his giant eggbot has the iconic stash. In this
And
movie,
and his own stash
Yeah.
because he's been stranded on an alien planet.
Mushrooms.
For a
so
year.
brushy.
Yeah, it's
Now,
bushy.
in this movie, as you saw in the trailers, he gains weight. He puts on. He looks more and more like. This is the MCU-ification
He's going
of a
through
character.
the X-vacation.
He's
Yeah.
becoming more
Eggification.
accurate. Eggman.
Comic accurate.
Yeah, no.
Eggman.
One of the things that the director's gotten right in the past Sonic movies is that they actually that they stay true to the source material.
There are differences, of course, but it works.
It
Exactly.
works well enough for what it's got to do. Obviously, no plot spoilers here, but yeah, it's pretty much the adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2 with its own little twists here and there. Thank you. A little bit of Sonic Heroes thrown in there for the extra mods, and once again, I am forced to make the people understand that the humans in these movies are necessary. Say what you will about the
And you
humans.
actually like them.
Yeah, I'm happy how much
You
people complain about
empathize
humans.
with them.
They're
But
not
they
sticks
do-
in the mud.
Yeah, and ironically, that's why they work, because the humans in this movie are just as cartoony as the actual cartoon-like animals, and that's how it works, because it genuinely, they fit. Everybody is wildly over the top in their own sense. Even the serious moments are somewhat more gravitas than usual to really drive it home. Basically, how do I put this?
Okay, there's one character who played everything 100% straight, and they played their part on it 100% like non-cartoony, non-wacky. And this is not a spoiler, but you'll see it.
That's damn good, by the way. Thank you.
What's her name? Kristen Ritter.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
Maria, right?
No,
No,
Kristen Ritter,
that's the gun.
the gun commander chick. She played Jessica
And
Jones.
she works perfectly.
Yeah, and she played everything straight, like no joking, no wink, nudge.
She was just serious.
Yes,
That's how it
which
works.
for the character that she was playing, she
Married
was a
to her
no-nonsense.
work.
Yeah, she was a
Because it works.
no-nonsense gun agent.
You create this contrast between serious dramatic moments and wild comedy by having the characters act appropriately. I found the one that I was looking for. Remember the Christmas Muppet special?
Yes.
You mean the Muppets Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Yes, with Mike Cocaine.
And remember the other special, the pirate movie they did with Tim Curry.
Muppets Treasure Island.
yeah. Somebody explained that in a Twitter post. They say the actor from the Christmas special
Michael Caine.
treats the puppets like they were real life actors.
Yeah.
Tim Curry treats himself like he was a Muppet.
Muppet.
Yep.
And that's why it works. They envelop themselves fully into the actual, like, they act, ironically enough. That's it. They put in their fucking sauce
That's
in it.
what I was going to say.
Thank you. So basically,
AKA, she's calling Angel a Muppet.
that I always knew I was a gonzo on my heart.
Hang on a minute. No, I don't see any hand stuffed up Angel's butt.
No, that's my own.
Or strings.
Point in case, none of me. Thank you. Point in case is the humans in the Sonic movie works because they behave exactly as you expect humans in a game to work. I mean, look at the Knuckles TV show. Wade is a complete loser of a man, but he's played for funny because he's such an exaggerated version of a man that has nothing to live for.
We love
His
him.
sister is a complete jackass, but is an exaggeration of the asshole sibling, and
Yep.
so on and so forth. And even their father, sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was going to say, and through Knuckles' help, Wade goes through some serious character development.
Exactly. He still remains the funny, wacky, crazy-ass man-child of a man.
Yeah, the side.
But it's played perfectly
he's
straight.
never going to be more than a goofy sidekick kind of guy.
But that's okay.
Fun fact: he's going to be in Sonic 3, and you'll be surprised at his role.
I know. Very, very, very developed, I gotta say. Now, I digress. The point is, I really like the humans in these movies. They fit the role, they work perfectly. Mady and Tom are still, as usual, fucking couple goals right there. Perfect, adorable, excellent.
No, the moment they showed up, they're like, yeah, okay.
Oh
yeah,
my god,
this-
we've been so
we're
fucking bored. We've been gone for 48 hours and I want to kill myself. Also, I want that sweater. Give me the donut sweater. I
Mr.
want.
Geek Me Out is asking, what whappened if Krypton wasn't destroyed, if Superman was be on his home planet? Ask Alan Moore. He wrote that one
Or the
episode.
man
from
who has
The what if
everything.
the man who, yeah, the man who has.
Basically, it extrapolates because, okay, quick sideways, I'm gonna make this fast. In a world where Krypton doesn't explode, Superman's dad becomes a pariah because his predictions didn't come true, which leads the family into disgrace.
But-
As a result, let's just say that Krypton was not a perfect world. There was a bit of a caste system shit going on, and this basically turns into a civil war within the country itself. Now, mind you, this is just based on what the Black Mercy showed, so this could just be an extrapolation based on Superman's thoughts. But ultimately, Krypton, while it was a beautiful planet, it was not a paradise. And it did have its own share of social and economic issues that would have become an issue, especially with a civilization with such incredibly advanced technology. So basically, Superman would have had a relatively normal life, but he may have not been quite as happy as he would have been down here. Because Krypton was his planet, but Earth is his home.
That's right.
There you go.
Now,
Okay.
like getting back to Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Speaking of Superman,
Yeah, no. Look for the Sonic fans. If you guys are fans of the franchise, and if you're fans of the video games, and if you follow the stories, you are definitely going to love the third movie.
it's the purest fan service.
And
man.
mind you, there are 2 credit scenes.
Please stay for the
Stay
credits.
until it's completely done. Trust us.
There is
you
a
won't want to
post-credit
miss
scene
it.
and a
Mid-credit scene.
mid-credit scene.
Can we say that there's a potential for
Oh, no, it's not a potential. It's already announced.
Also,
Yeah.
once again, Sonic BTFOs, another big corporation trying to push a movie before they did. In the first movie, I think it was the first Suicide Squad.
the Birds
Birds
of
of
Prey.
Prey. Blew it the fuck out of the water. The second movie, I forgot which one was that. Well, anyway, there was another big
Exactly.
movie, some Disney film or something, blew it out of the water. On this movie, it came out at the same time as Mufasa came out. On
AKA a movie nobody asked for.
What's
on
Mufasa?
day one, on day one, the Mufasa movie made $35 million. Respectable, but not the numbers you want from Disney.
how much did Sonic make?
70. It doubled. It literally went. How about double it up? $50, little man. Put that
Listen,
shit.
Hold my
you
chili dog.
Exactly.
anyone who knows about nostalgia will bring you bank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen,
Because
okay.
we want to see things that remind us of being a
To be
child
fair,
again.
though, it's how you use it. Nostalgia is a tool. It's a
Done
double-edged
correctly.
blade.
And
It's a
they
double-edged
did
sword.
They did this
Don't
correctly.
rewrite shit.
Don't use nostalgia to attack your audience and claim your shit is better. You gotta understand, these are your paying customers, both new and old.
You
and
make us happy, we
Yeah.
make you happy with
also,
money.
Nintendo needs to step the fuck up because they only made one Mario movie and we're already 3x3 with Sonic films. And listen, I like the Mario movie, but I enjoy Sonic a little more. I guess he got faster to my
Yeah.
centers.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. But getting back to speaking of nostalgia, I actually saw that you had the article up about the Superman trailer.
Well, I closed it off, Jose, but
He got like 250 million views.
250 million views.
Not
Yeah.
that. And mind you, this is a teaser. Wait until the official trailer comes out.
That's right. The trailer earned 250 million views, and it is the most viewed trailer in history of both DC
Jesus.
and Warner Brothers, according to an article from Variety.com.
Listen, people like to say how much they love Spider-Man and Batman and the other heroes, but sometimes you gotta remind them that Superman is the superhero. Like with the big THE and the big S. The superhero.
There's honestly not much to read from this article that we haven't already said about the trailer.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
and
I
read-
mean, that entire paragraph talking about the dude's like ass shape was a little awkward, but I guess that's what they do for journalism nowadays.
Never.
Listen, they have to fill up the article some way.
Yeah.
Now, of
Upload
course.
it.
All right, guys. Time to turn this around because, like all things in life, what goes up must eventually come down.
Why we have to go down? Everything
No.
Actually,
you don't
it's
want to.
it's actually going to be involving some pro wrestling news that isn't really being covered by other wrestling outlets over here. It's actually involving a controversy that went under the radar thanks to well-placed legalese and hush money having been thrown around. Let's talk about everyone's favorite idiot, savant, Tony Khan, the head of All Elite Wrestling.
Now, normally, when it comes to wrestling, Mr. Casabona has his own show, which happens to occur at Thursdays at what time again? 10 p.m.?
Thursdays at 10 p.m. Wrestle Rewind.
Now, normally we talk about the good things that happen in wrestling, the spectacular shows, the
And the
shenanigans.
silly shit.
Yeah, the silly shit happening behind the scenes, and more often than not, what Mr. Casabona speaks about stays within the ring. But sometimes, much as we don't want to, we need to address some uncomfortable shit that happens outside. Because when you have a business as big as wrestling, its reach extends far beyond and far after the fans have left the bleachers.
Exactly. This is beyond tribalism. This is actually something much more serious and something that we can all empathize. And I actually do want to talk about this because, like Juan says, this has completely flown under the radar until now.
Because the man wanted it to be hidden. They know that the public will quickly forget if you don't remind them over and over again. So hey, that's what you're here for. Good job.
Actually, I want to thank Juan for this, for providing me this one because he actually
here for. Good job.
because
Don't touch me!
he caught this from Twitter from the Twitter username AEW Neckbeards, who retweeted a GoFundMe link from a person named Jamie Hahn, who we will learn more about as we get into the GoFundMe link.
And he was actually put up an interesting question, like, how come the wrestling journalists aren't covering this?
Because
and over
it
here
makes
we're
them look
wondering,
bad.
no, hang on, Angel. We'll get there momentarily. You can get your shot in front of smile out of the way.
not smiling because of Shadow Program.
Oh, shit!
Are you
Okay.
Please be careful.
That is a Dragon Fang, yeah.
Nothing spilled, right? Okay, good. I mean, worried.
Okay, Jamie Hahn's family in crisis. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the link to her GoFundMe over here. Now you're probably wondering, okay, now we all know that there's going to be folks who are in need, especially this time of year. And you're probably wondering, what in the hell does this poor lady's situation have to do with All Elite Wrestling? She explains it in her GoFundMe page, and I'll show y'all right now. Now,
I'll be more than happy to read it. All right.
in crisis. Their goal is $10,000. They've
Wow,
raised
look how far they've
7,400
gone so far.
So
Congratulations.
That's actually good. They're a quarter of a way. They're a quarter away from the goal.
Three-quarters of the way there. Okay, so let's see here.
All right, here's what she wrote, and I quote: "With a heavy and humbled heart,
me
this
make
plea
this a
of
little
help."
bigger.
You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna get off this half.
This
for
is
a
a
minute.
human moment.
With a heavy and humble heart, this plea of help comes from a now homeless mother of 3 as a result of careless, egotistical, and inhumane actions of All Elite Wrestling, and Chris Peck, a member of AEW's Inside Legal Counsel. I will do my best to explain the pure catastrophic destruction Chris Peck's behavior has had on my life since September of 2023. I pray that anyone reading this will do so with compassion and an open mind, as this journey that started out positively has been anything but fair or kind. I pray for your empathy and grace as I explain my family's desperate needs to heal from and survive this horrific experience. Funding received will be used for the following: obtaining immediate shelter, covering transportation costs to get my children to and from school and schedule doctor's appointments, living costs for food and winter items, groundwork for rebuilding a happy, healthy, and loving home as we lost all of our belongings that were in storage. My name is Jamie Hahn. I am a mother of 3 young children and an IT professional. My plea for help and everything I am fighting for is for them. I became homeless this fall due to the uphill battles I have faced after being physically assaulted by a monster who re-entered my life disguised as someone I thought I knew and trusted. The mental and physical strain, through the criminal and now civil court process has been crippling since it began. After losing my home, I resorted to staying in my car as I sought any and all available shelter resources. Unfortunately, local resources are scarce in my area, and I have yet to successfully secure shelter. Survival has been challenging for quite some time. Things took a turn for the worse 2 weeks ago when the engine in my car blew. Without financial means to have it towed or repaired, it was left on the side of the highway and removed by the county a couple of days later.
Of course it was.
My car was not just means for transportation. Though not ideal, it was a safe, warm place that allowed my children and I to be together as much as possible. To provide some background, you may be familiar with the June 2023 criminal case against B.J. Whitmer, a former Ring of Honor wrestler and talent coach / producer for AEW, for first-degree strangulation and second-degree burglary. What people do not know is the direct impact that Chris Peck single-handedly had on the outcome of the criminal case against my abuser, his sentencing, and my ability to properly recover financially, mentally, and physically. The trauma and hell of such a cruel and sinister experience is unspeakable. It is an evil that no person should prepare themselves for. I was brutally assaulted and then robbed of any chance of justice when Chris Peck breached the terms of the very NDA he forced me to sign at one of my most desperate moments. Without being subpoenaed or having any legal obligation whatsoever, and despite the date / time-stamped documentation of my every interaction with AEW, Chris Peck wrongfully provided an inaccurate description of my intentions and false context of my engagement with AEW's Mega Parrick, who was the chief legal officer, dating back to June 2023. Peck blatantly lied to the defense attorney and the prosecution team. AEW has been made aware of Peck's actions, the impact his actions had on the outcome of my case, and the devastating effect it has had on my life since March 2024. AEW has had ample opportunity and time to address and take responsibility for Peck's actions, yet they have done nothing, putting me in the most vulnerable position imaginable. My intentions were never to jeopardize or harm AEW. My initial outreach to AEW was to inform them that BJ had been arrested and was in jail. My first outreach to AEW was to Mega Parrick. Parrick. I had known from BJ she had expertise in mental health and crisis management, and BJ mentioned she had helped him at times. From the beginning, I made it clear to Mega reaching out to AEW was my last resort. Local law enforcement hadn't responded to prior events of abuse. I had nowhere else to turn, and so I emailed Mega on June 10th, 2023. When Mega was my primary contact, I told her, and she seemed to understand, that I simply wanted policy change and a committed plan to address domestic violence in the wrestling industry in an effort to prevent future abuse. Not only was I failed by AEW after the glimmer of hope they provided after my initial outreach and throughout the summer of 2023, I was failed by a broken, lazy legal system. And I am being failed by a billion-dollar company who knows of their errors and has watched a mother of 3 lose everything. Aside from losing our home, car, and belongings, I may lose my children in response to a Child Protection Services investigation due to being homeless with no available resources for shelter. My children and I need someone to care about what has happened and what is right, with a personal interest to get involved and show that there is awareness of these situations and that none of it is okay. My entire nervous system has been stuck in fight-or-flight mode for too long, and I need help so that I do not lose the most meaningful pieces of my existence. It is very difficult to ask for help, but I have hit rock bottom in this fight to simply survive, and we cannot survive in this current state of desperation. By seeking financial help, I feel that it is important that you know some of the key points of my story. I pray that this provides relief to my family for an opportunity to heal and rebuild, but also insight to a much bigger problem that needs to be exposed. Something I learned while saturated in the public-facing industry of wrestling and as a then significant other to a former wrestler, then talent coach producer, is that wrestling is undeniably a world of its own, and like any other professional sport, has an increasingly widespread fan base. One could argue the most loyal within the sporting entertainment industry. When wrestling becomes a part of your life, you realize the phenomenon of dedicated followers that once amazed you with their electric energy are often the same people who are quick to cast assumptions and cruelty in even the most private situations without context or fact-checking. Let me be clear. I am a human being, and this is my life. This is not some storyline or work, so please understand, this is not the place for trolling or hateful comments. My goal is to is not to appease or win over wrestling fans. My goal is to bring light to an issue to prevent others from being manipulated by a billion-dollar company and their most vulnerable state. I hope to seek the compassion, support, and humanity of a community closest to the realities of what I and so many others have experienced, with hope that you see the value in your generosity and how it will go far beyond my urgent hardship. Now I'm going to stop right there. The overview here provides an entire breakdown of everything, dates, timestamps, and the circumstances of everything that has happened in this ordeal.
Involving here how she was attacked by BJ Whitmer in June 2023. She had a...
no, I can't do this.
She had an emergency protective order granted by a judge with no contest by defendant. Let's see here. And illegal. Let's see. Informed Mega Pareca the arrest. Background of domestic violence, abuse, and illegal drug use throughout his AEW employment on Sunday, June 11th, 2023. Mega listened and asked me to send over any information I had to support what I was saying. We spoke for about an hour. I told her I'd been hesitant to reach out, but reaching out to AEW was my last plea that BJ be held accountable in some way for his behavior. Mega swiftly took action after reviewing the information I pointed out overnight, and AEW terminated his employment the morning of his arraignment. He had not told anyone at AEW that he'd been arrested and jailed since June 4th. And here we have the rest of the situation moving forward here. Man. So, as you folks can imagine, this is not a game that we're playing around with. We're not here to try and make light of this situation with this lady. What we want to do is help spread awareness for this situation here. And yeah, I noticed how we've had folks go quiet and shocked by the narration that we've had that Jose gave us of the situation there. And I know Mr. Quake is big on following in on Wrestle Rewind, so he was giving a lot of wrestling comments on there, but this isn't about the wrestlers.
No.
This isn't about that stuff. This isn't even about Tony Khan.
This is about a mother of 3 children who are struggling really hard and who are fighting to survive and not be separated from each other.
Do you believe that I'm genuinely not surprised when I heard what happened? Because you're telling me that the company that seems to be able to screw over everybody, screw over somebody. Like, when I found out, when you read that section, I'm like, of course he broke NDA. Of course they basically lied to her face. Of course they screwed her over on any money payments or, recompense that she will receive. Of course they did.
Because of course they did.
AEW has a really bad history of ignoring problems, sweeping them under the rug, and doing everything but solve the problem.
You need to watch Dynamite. Everything's great.
Listen.
Everything's great, Angel.
As Tony Khan
everything's great. You need to watch Dynamite
into an increasingly deep pile of cocaine.
And Max. You need to watch it on Max. Right. You need to subscribe to us. You need to watch.
Let's not forget that they bury this kind of story because they expect their clients to not listen. I mean, shit. How many people even know about this? Not enough. Thankfully enough to get at least $7,400 in there. But this is the kind of thing they don't report specifically because they know that most people don't pay attention to what happens outside of the ring or the consequences of what the company does. This is a basic case of, they screwed her over. And you know what they're going to do? Not tell anybody. They don't even have to bury it because the image, the news will be lost the second the next big event shows up. That's what you got to remind people. I think Asmongold made a good point about this. It has to do with video games. So he made a point where he basically says, people are pissed at Blizzard now, but every single boycott is 1 3-minute trailer away from disappearing. people are easily led by the public, and the public is led by the spectacle. And if you don't remind people that shit like this is happening, they will forget, because we don't have the brain capacity to deal with this bombardment of information. So it's a good thing that we got people like us willing to air this kind of thing out, because everybody needs to know that, the company you're following is filled with scum. And they're willing to basically screw somebody over and separate her mother and her children and leave her homeless and take away any compensation she may receive, specifically because they think they can get away. It doesn't matter if the company makes $1 billion per day. The important thing is not paying a single cent unless they are. It's like the fucking gold from the smog horde.
Yeah,
and
the horde of
I will not
smog.
part with even one single coin. Kind of shit, Like, the fact that she has to go through crowdfunding to begin with, when their legal department should have settled this whole thing. I mean, let's be honest.
And helped her.
Even with all the money that they don't make, do you have any idea how easy it would be for like that company to go, okay, here's $20,000, settled, the end, go home.
Not even settled. Like, we're sorry that you've been failed by this.
Here's apology money.
Even there,
like, bro, they could making 10,000. They could do that in like a week. They could make that in a day.
Here's the problem.
Alone.
All Elite Wrestling isn't really known for making a lot of money, despite how much money they spend. How much did they spend last year on talent alone, Jose? What was it, $30 million?
$30 million on talent, yeah.
Like idiots.
That's a rough estimate.
That's just how much Tony Khan spent on securing contracts for
how much did
the wrestlers. They lost $30 million also.
Oh. Well, if he's willing to throw away that much money, surely 10,000 would not be out of his paycheck.
Yeah, but that being said,
why should he?
This actually
everything's great.
There it is. Why should he?
But everything's great at AEW. It's where the best wrestle, Angel.
But that being said, this GoFundMe, this whole situation has not gone unnoticed, because news sites like Fightful and yes, the Wrestling Observer Radio, they have actually reported on this. But we're going to go with Fightful because they're more accurate at their reporting.
No, they're just much less stupid.
That too.
That's close enough to accurate. We can work with that.
And an article provided to us by Fightful, which I have shared the link into the chat. The headline reads, Jamie Hahn, BJ Whitmer's victim, launches a GoFundMe, claims she has issues with AEW Legal. This article was posted on December 18th by
Colin Tessier. BJ Whitmer's victim says she faced hardship in recent months. On June 4, 2023, BJ Whitmer was arrested and charged with strangulation and second-degree burglary. He was later indicted on charges of first-degree strangulation and second-degree burglary in September. In the initial incident report, it was noted officers saw red marks and bruising that was consistent with strangulation of the alleged victim's neck. The alleged victim, Jamie Hahn, subsequently came forward and shared a message for survivors. In March 2024, Whitmer received 5 years probation and a 120-day home incarceration as he took an Alford plea. At the time, Fightful spoke directly with the victim, who was not on board with this plea, and read a victim impact statement to communicate her concerns to the judge. Jamie Hahn has now launched a GoFundMe and wrote that she was asking for help as a homeless mother of 3. She claimed that her family was homeless, quote, as a result of careless, egotistical, and inhumane actions of AEW and Chris Peck, who worked as one of AEW's legal counsel. Hahn claimed that Peck's behavior caused catastrophic destruction in her life. Hahn wrote that the GoFundMe funds would be used for obtaining immediate shelter. Yep, and we already know this part, the loss in storage. Hahn then claimed that her family became homeless this fall due to fighting uphill battles she faced, and she stated that the mental and physical strain of the criminal and civil court process has been crippling. Hahn wrote that after they lost their home, they stayed in their car as she sought other shelter resources, which were scarce, and that they yet to secure a place to stay. She said that survival had been challenging for a while, and the situation worsened recently with the engine of her car blew. Hahn wrote that without the means to have a car towed or repaired, it was left on the highway.
It's always the damn car problems at the worst possible time, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's always the worst.
Everything else here in these following paragraphs is pretty much summarizing.
Word for word and everything.
Yeah.
Yep, the correct contact at AEW was her last resort. Yep. Okay, Hahn went to claim that she may lose her children in response to, yep, okay, we already got that part. Then she provided a timeline of events starting with Whitmer's alleged attack and his arrest. The timeline included contact with AEW's then chief legal officer, Mega Parek, with Han citing date and time-stamped calls, texts, and text messages. She wrote that she provided evidence of her accusations and statements. Han claimed that Mega asked her to send over any information she had to support her claims. She wrote that Parek took action and Whitmer was terminated. Han's timeline included a description of the resources that Parek offered her, including therapy resources and a home security system, as well as itemized financial support for therapy and basic living expenses that could not be met due to medical conditions following the attack. Han claimed that she discussed partnering with AEW to strategically create and raise awareness of domestic violence, as well as target policy changes to prevent people from going through similar situations and to show how companies can support victims of domestic violence. Han then claimed that in September 2023, she received an email from Chris Peck stating that he was responding to her email to Parek and she was no longer be involved. Han claimed that Peck told her that he was unaware of her situation. He did not have any record of anything she was discussing with Parek. Han claimed that Peck asked her to detail the entire story, which she said was unreasonable given that she was the survivor of abuse. Han claimed that all of the files and communication she had with Parek was forwarded to him. Han wrote that in October, Parek apologized because the transition had not been smooth. Han claimed that Peck showed no empathy in their exchanges, and he said that he needed her to forward all the evidence of her documented abuse to him. Han claimed that all of this had already been provided to Peck by Mega Parek. Han continued by claiming that Peck made it seem like she was trying to take advantage of the situation, and when discussing additional financial support to help with rent, Peck changed his tone and asked what was needed to, quote, make this go away.
It always gets to that point.
As a final amount so that they could part ways. Han claimed that this changed her perspective of the situation, and she previously thought that she was working with AEW to potentially create positive change, whereas Parek made it clear that this would not happen.
It's like HR. Do you think they're here to help you?
No, they're not.
No, they're
Okay, and of course, yes, thank you for, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we put this in our chat as well. So
Yes.
for anyone else who may have been the victim of domestic violence over here, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Cut that, cut there. Okay. All right. Of DV, yeah. So if anyone that you know has been a victim of domestic violence, know that there is help available to you. Just be sure that you call the phone number that we're going to be putting on the chat right now. So please remember that there are resources available, folks. You're not alone. There is always a way when it comes to this shit. Now, I'm sorry for not giving y'all a heads up on this, ladies, because I know how much of a pain that is.
Yeah, but that being said, Zayana Rose and Dragonfang, your thoughts on this situation?
No. They have no.
No. You know what? It's fine. My bad. I apologize.
I'm sorry for springing this shit on you. In my defense, this
We'd
was.
say it was going to be a pretty
shot
heavy
right
thing
now.
to talk about.
What's up, Angel?
We did warn everybody that it was going to be a pretty heavy topic to begin with, so...
Yeah.
I can tell. Don't worry, Dragonfang.
Well, that's not fair, because Dragonfang is like, half of our soul is still in the car, like 50 feet away from us.
No, it's at work.
What's up?
That's what you get for getting all those
My
Zenogre
soul's still at
quests.
work.
Listen,
It's
I
okay.
told you not to take 50 Zenogre quests in a row, but you did not listen to me.
All right, fine. Well,
Okay.
then, yeah, this is really awful. This is so freaking awful, and this is a situation that has to be addressed. If AEW continues on this trend of just ignoring problems,
But this is how he does it. Just ignore the problems.
no,
There
it's
are no
gonna,
problems.
no. The more
There's
they
no
ignore
word
it,
bossing,
it's going to
say.
be forced on
Well,
them.
Oh, it will, because
here's
eventually
the
this can
thing.
turn into a legal
Hang
problem.
on.
This isn't a surprising thing to happen, considering so many people and corporations tend to brush these things aside. So I'm personally not surprised that they're like, oh no, nothing's wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. You know, this has nothing to do with us.
That's exactly what's going on in there, and
It's just going to keep getting worse.
and clearly there's zero communication happening at that company. There's clearly zero fucking interpersonal fucking accountability, even within their own legal
What's
team.
accountability?
It's that thing poor people are supposed to be doing.
But rich people aren't obligated to do.
And according to the recounting, like Mega Parek was trying to help Jamie Han go through all this stuff before.
So far as we know.
So far as we know, before departing from the company.
But here's the problem, Zay. Did Mega Parek ever actually explicitly say that to her?
Of course not. You know they did everything they could not to specifically say that. It's all about wielding and winding the way around the words for a good old dose of silver-tongue corporate bullshit. Remember, the moment they get to the point, every single step on that conversation of this case has been for that person to tell the victim, how much can I pay you for you to go away? That's what everything boils down to. They do not give a shit about anything else. That's not their job. And the second he got home and took off his tie, he forgot about it too. That's how they work. That man might as well be a machine. His only work and directive is protect the company interest at all costs. Do you think that person gives a shit about the fact that that lady was living in a car with 3 kids?
Clearly not.
She could die tomorrow and he would be taking a shower and having dinner and not giving a single fuck about the fact that he could be partially responsible for it. Because if it's out of sight, you bet your ass they're going to put it out of mind. And they will take and stuff as many dollar bills as they can between their goddamn eyeballs before they decide to do a damn thing. They're going to do this exactly. What seems to be the problem, officer?
Exactly.
What's the problem? I don't see any problems. Do you?
Very nice illustration there, Angel.
What are the problems? Problems? Where? Too rich for them.
I would expect Juan to do something like that.
Juan doesn't have this much cash on him right now.
I do, but it's in my wallet.
There you go. Also, this is actually emergency money I keep for gas. Just
So
in
is
case my
mine.
car gets lost or some shit.
Fair enough.
Like-
Okay.
Okay.
The point is, the point is not that they screwed this lady, is that they were always going to try to. And only now, only because the voices on the internet are speaking, she might get some measure of justice. Of course, in a better world, that entire building would have been pipe bombed by now, but you know what? As long as she manages to scrape out of this mess with something that can, some capital to let her build a life anew, and hey, she's an IT expert, she might be able to get a job somewhere at some point to help her kids, then this story might not have a sad ending at the end.
Now
Now, goddamn, the development has been terrible.
Now, as expected, AEW has not responded to this. I actually did tune into a live streaming of their post pay-per-view media scrum. They just wrapped up Ring of Honor.
Did
final.
anyone bring it up?
Yeah, let me get to it. So they just wrapped up Ring of Honor's final battle, which was last night, and then afterwards in the media scrum, I fast forwarded all the way to the Tony Khan portion. That was never brought up.
Of course not.
And
Say
they have
they
another
don't.
pay-per-view coming up at the end of the month
They
over
will
on
not
December
bring it up.
28th, AEW World's End, which will be in Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna watch the media scrum, and I want to see, and I already know the outcome, but I want to see if it's going to happen or not.
They are.
And
It's
if
not.
it does, I would like to see how Tony Khan is going to try to spin.
Okay.
I
this.
guarantee
Spoiler
you
alert.
they're not going to say a damn thing about it.
Do you know why?
He'll direct you to his lawyers.
No, do you know why? And here's the reason why. The same reason, the same question why. It's the answer to the same question why that original guy on Twitter posted her GoFundMe page in the first place. Why aren't wrestling journalists covering this? Why, Jose? Why would Dave fucking Meltzer ever discuss this to Tony Khan's face at a press conference?
Why do game journalists never give negative scores to certain games?
Because they have their mouth full.
Yeah, if you say anything
get
negative,
my drift.
I guarantee you, the first journalist that brings that up will never be allowed to have a press pass to those locations again.
Exactly.
Which also begs the question: what is more important?
Money.
No, their money. They only care about money.
Like, we know what's important because we're rational
Truth
human beings
or
with
money?
a shred of empathy
People
left in our
choose money.
bodies.
Why do you think I plan on clipping this segment of the show tonight once I'm done and having us tag Tony Khan?
Oh, you didn't tell me this.
Surprise.
We're doing journalism.
Okay, then let's do it.
Yay.
Okay,
But next time, tell me.
now,
I
babe,
literally just came up with it now.
we are never winning those tickets for the AW show. I'm sorry, bro.
That's fine with me.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to give Tony
What I
Khan a
wanted to
cent.
witness a murder
Angel.
in the ring.
Angel, these guys are stupid. They literally have been in decline on their ratings over the last 5 years straight.
And going down.
their in-house audiences have been shrinking. You know how normally if you book an arena, you have the whole arena floor set up for these for like a pro wrestling show, and like there's stages on the far side or whatever. The last one that they just had this past Wednesday, instead of having the stage set up at like the far end of the arena, they have it set up 2/3 of the way in the middle of the arena floor. And they only have the last third of the arena set up for seating.
Don't forget the strategic camera placement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even then, they still couldn't fill that. Point is, All Elite Wrestling, despite the stupid money that Tony Khan, the owner, and Booker, and general manager, and Waterboy, and the bestest boy, he's a Nepo baby. Let's not
Sugar
lie.
snorter.
Yeah, exactly. The Booker Sugar Snorter boy. He has over $1 billion that he can burn, that he'll never miss a day in the rest of his life.
Must be nice.
But as long as he gets to play wrestling with his action figures that he bought, aka the wrestlers, and gets to put it on TV and pretend like he's the greatest booker of all time, and yeah, there's gonna be idiots like Dave Meltzer who are gonna suck on his nard in order to keep access. No, that's what's going on, Angel.
No, that's the after effect.
Yeah, exactly. The
yeah.
point is, those motherfuckers have no shame. Just like these motherfuckers that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, but that being said, we here at the Ravens Flock, of course, extend our deepest support for Jamie Hahn and her family. And we will be sharing, and yeah, we already shared the GoFundMe link that's in the live chat right now. And I've already retweeted the GoFundMe link on my Twitter. And if there's if it's on Blue Sky, I'm also going to retweet that as well, because this is fucking serious. And yes, they have raised so far over $7,000 to help out with their needs. And one of the people that donated the most money, I kid you not, Juan, is former AEW wrestler Miro Rusev.
Yeah.
Well, you know, somebody was listening after all.
Well, yeah, considering that Rusev himself, Miro, he's not actually even being used on television right now. So
He's in the
He
doghouse.
can sneak under the spotlight because they put him in the yard.
yeah, exactly.
Now, if you excuse me, I gotta listen to the voice of my bowels. Keep talking, because
You
I
go
gotta
ahead.
go deliver some
It's
news.
okay. We can talk some good news over
I
here,
gotta
or at
go to
least
the
crazy shit.
United Nations and tell them where the budget is going.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
You ever wonder where your tax dollars are going?
Oh, Juan.
Speaking of New York City,
Yeah, go for it. All right. In an article provided to us by USA Today, the headline reads, "The paparazzi and protesters. CEO shooting suspect's unusual journey to New York City."
and yeah, we're going to be talking about the man. We're going to be talking about Luigi Mangione, the guy who allegedly, we still have to say allegedly because for the record, I can't believe we have to say for the record on this shit. All right. People are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and please don't kill people. Killing people is bad. Don't kill people. If you do it, you're a bad person. There, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
All right.
the alleged shooter at the moment, and also a die-hard ladies killer.
No, he's not a lady killer. He killed him. He killed an asshole man.
Hey, no, you're
Okay,
right.
yeah, Luigi Mangione. Let's see here. The man accused of killing a health insurance executive broad daylight earlier this month was cast in the public spotlight as he arrived in New York City Thursday, donning a bright orange jumpsuit. Okay, that's just an ad here. Mangione, 26 years old, stepped off a helicopter where he was met with dozens of heavily armed officers and New York City Mayor Eric Adams. After beginning the day in Pennsylvania, the Ivy League graduate was then transported and formally charged with federal murder and stalking charges in Manhattan courtroom alongside state murder and terrorism charges previously announced by New York prosecutors. The highly publicized escort has garnered mixed reactions on social media and rekindled the debate about staging so-called perp walks. Experts told USA Today that the striking display will likely motivated by authorities attempted to make a statement. And this is what we're talking about here. Basically, Luigi Mangione here, he was, there's the thing that I'm looking for. Why isn't it doing this? What the okay, there we go. Okay, so basically he was extradited from Pennsylvania and he was made to walk through fucking what do you call it? He was made to walk through a tarmac with full-on police escorts all over him. in order to show everyone, oh, this is a bad man, this is a horrible, horrible person, and he's going to face the consequences of his actions.
They're trying to spin this, yeah. And there's people outside protesting in support of Luigi.
Yep, and let's see here. And this is him, and at the beginning of the day, in the Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania county courthouse, and that's what he ended up with here. Let's see, quote, obviously the practice is highly controversial because it can be very prejudicial to see someone walking around with handcuffs behind their back and surrounded by a cadre of police officers, kind of insinuating that this person's already guilty, already highly dangerous, said Jorge Camacho, policy director for the Justice Collaboratory at Yale Law School and a clinical lecturer on law. After his arrest, Mangione has received a following online among some people expressing anger at what they view as greedy corporations and healthcare insurance companies. Whether the publicity of his appearance will fuel or stunt that settlement remains to be seen, according to Camacho. Robert Weisberg, law professor at Stanford University and faculty co-director at the Stafford Criminal Justice Center, said the so-called perp walk has little to do with the legal system as a part of American political theater. He added that it is often simpler and safer to transport defendants without parading them in public. This one looks particularly staged, Weisberg said, referring to the publicized appearance of Mangione's arrival in New York. The orchestration of it is almost too transparent. Following the swarm of internet fanfare after Mangione's arrest, the perp walk may have been a, quote, well-intentioned effort to make him look like a martyr, Weisberg said, adding that it could backfire by highlighting his image in the public sphere even further. In a rare move, New York City Mayor Eric Adams joined officials in escorting Mangione, walking a few paces behind the suspect. Let me show you his old bald ass. You see this dude over here? In between, on the left side of the picture.
That's the mayor.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Here's Mangione in the middle. There's the squat guy at NYPD. The old black dude in the middle, the bald guy. That is New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Literally just there, gooking for the fucking camera. Basically goobering for the camera because there's the Mr. Strong Mayor, whatever the fuck.
He wants to look good in a newspaper.
Idiots. This act of terrorism and the violence that stems from it is something that will not be tolerated in the city, Adams told reporters after the escort, with NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch behind him. We wanted to personally be here to show the symbolism of leading from the front. Yeah, sure. Adams' appearance comes as he and a former staffer face legal challenges. On Thursday, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg announced the indictment of Ingrid Lewis Martin, a former top aide to Adams, on bribery charges. In September, Adams was indicted on unrelated federal corruption charges, which he denies. Weisberg told USA Today the mayor's intentions for the perp walk appears, quote, pretty straightforward, given the legal difficulties. Mayor Adams needs good publicity, that's for sure. Dramaturgy of American government. Yeah, that's weird. Early in the day, a long line formed outside the Pennsylvania courthouse ahead of the initial morning hearings, some of whom gathered to express support for Mangione. We feel his anger, his frustration, said Andrea A., who noted she traveled to the courthouse from northern Ohio. It has definitely woke people up. We hear him. The demonstrations outside the courthouse are what one would expect in a big case, Weisberg said, noting the nation's long history of such rallies both for and against defendants. This is, quote, just a part of the kind of dramaturgy of American government and American society in some ways, he added. And that was the end of the article. Basically, these people are being extra for the sake of it.
And they're doing a smear campaign.
They're trying to do this as a statement to say, like, oh, he's already a horrible man and a horrible criminal. This is how horrible and dangerous he is. We have all these SWAT teams around him and all these cops and all these vests. And the mayor himself is behind this guy to make sure that he's seen to the courthouse. How courageous is our mayor, who's totally doesn't need PR help because he's in the middle of corruption and bribery charges of his own. Isn't that right, folks? No, he's just a very good mayor. Spare me.
Okay, I know you two have got some thoughts on this. Like, God, this is so ridiculous.
What? Okay, well, yeah. Well, you can't comment.
No, I understand.
Dragonfang, are you awake and alive? You can talk. We're all friends here.
This is my expression.
disappointment.
See, they can't hear you and they can't see you because you weren't looking at the camera.
This is just fucking crap.
Very much. So.
Big pile of steaming crap.
I'll pour you some Tylenol. So, Angel, how do you feel after waking up and disemboweling yourself?
I already made my opinion very clear that murder is still bad.
Yes.
Morally speaking, as a normal human being with, some matter of empathy and sympathy in my body, murder is still bad. Cold-blooded murder is still worse. And on the belief that this person did do something wrong, they are to be punished by the full extent of the law like it's supposed to. However, and I'm going to put a big fucking asterisk on this, it would be a lot easier to buy the badness of the murder if it wasn't against one of the most corrupted and cruel institutions of the entire fucking country. Health insurance, and United Healthcare in particular, are one of the most notorious in that they force you to pay out the ass just so they can work as hard as they can to not give you what you pay
They're
for.
greedy.
What we are seeing here is not some crime of passion. What we are seeing here is the culmination of countless years of people getting figuratively and sometimes literally fucked over by a system that is pretty much tailor designed to take your money and give you nothing in return. This happened because we reached the point where it was going to happen. And as long as the point remains there, it is likely it will happen again. Congratulations, you put his face out there. Now people know who he is. You put a massive army of dudes in with guns around him, so they know you are afraid of him.
They put the mayor of New York himself there.
So you're trying to act through him. I guarantee you, if they had just put this guy in a regular prison transportation vehicle and just moved into the streets, nobody would give him a second glance. But they are trying to make it a spectacle. And do you know what happens when you make it a spectacle? You attract an audience. And every time you attract an audience, there is a big chance that they might decide that death of the author might be the best way to go about interpreting this particular play. I guess that what I'm trying to get to is I just had a monumental size shit that took a huge amount of effort from my body and soul, and I put more effort into dumping that turd in your toilet than they're doing in making me believe that this guy is a bad person.
This is actually
Poetry.
how poetic.
It rhymes.
Fucking yes. Zay, can you pass me the...
Sorry I took so long. My body has not been cooperating with me right now.
No, it's okay. Here, listen. We're going to do something a little easier.
Oh, it looks like a health potion even, you bastard.
Hey!
Just a small chug.
Yeah, just a small chug. Because we're actually going to take things a little bit easier because there's not much video gaming news to go around.
Yes.
So,
This is less video game news and more of video game interviews with some of the most important creators of the industry. A bit of an update on what they're doing right now, basically.
all right.
As you know, we recently had the Game Awards. It was fun. Listen, people complain about them all the time, but they still sit down to watch them.
Astrobot won a shit ton of
Astrobot.
awards.
Yeah, surprisingly, it even beat one of the big ones.
And then one of our favorite games ever is getting a proper sequel.
this is
Yes,
the
there
big
is a
one.
sequel. There's Okami then,
After
however,
18 years.
Okami sequel.
After 18 years, Okami has returned, being held by
Finally.
none other than the legendary Hideki Kamiya
Finally.
himself, who made the first game back when he was working at Clover, making amazing games that didn't sell for shit. Well, Mr. Kamiya has taken the time to speak with some people and explain his reasoning and why he made a new studio called Clovers, which is what we're going to check out in this article.
Homage.
Mr. Arouse, if you please.
There it is.
Now,
And this article by Eurogamer. Here you
by
go.
Eurogamer, Hideki Kamiya's artistic spirit would have died had he remained at Platinum Games. Platinum Games has been making some very questionable decisions lately. This is brought to us by Mr. Ed Nightingale, Deputy News Director. Now, the former Platinum Vice President has launched a new studio with another former Platinum employee, Kaneto Koyama, as discussed in the new interview with Japanese outlet. By the way, this article doesn't say it, but you know who else joined the studio?
Who else?
Oh,
The guy who did the animations for Revengeance, the person that worked on Bayonetta, and the person that worked on Devil May Cry's 1, 3, and 5 for the animation department. So we're getting some good stuff here. Now, the pair
Dan
has set up...
Famiko Gamer. Yay.
The pair has set up Clovers, which will develop a sequel to the much-loved Okami, developed by Kamiya back at Clover Studio. We also the trailer, it was very beautiful. This is purely my personal opinion, but I thought if I continue to work here, my artistic muscle would die, said Kamiya on his reasons for leaving Platinum last year.
Why is this thing frozen?
I'm going to have to use my phone then. Hang on
Yeah.
a second. No worries, I make sure that I figure something like this might happen.
Yeah, no, it's like these guys need to optimize their formatting.
It's made for phones, man. It's shitty.
There.
Okay, so
Artistic Spirit would die.
I
if
can
you
understand
lost
the
it.
way Platinum Games is as a company and its logic, and I was in the position of vice president myself. But as an individual named Hideki Kamiya, I was unable to embrace that. He literally is doing the same thing that the director of Nintendo said, like my car says CEO, but at my heart I'm a gamer kind of guy.
Yeah.
As vice president, Kamiya was a field first at Platinum Games. He described himself as the muscle and the CEO Atsuhi Inaba as the brains. The signals sent from the cerebrum are essential for muscles, we continue. At the same time, those signals must be reliable for muscles. Until then, I received those signals, trusted them, and I worked to maximize my own strength. But with regards to the future direction of Platinum with Inaba at the helm, I was no longer able to place my trust in them and exert my strength as a muscle. Kamiya has been quite vocal about his decision to leave Platinum's care, previously stating that there was the issue of trust. Honestly, considering how badly their recent games have been doing, Babylon's whatever the fuck is it called, I don't blame them. Now, he then launched a YouTube channel where he discussed his next project. I already have a clear idea in mind, he said. I would like to translate this vision in my head to a full proposal as soon as I'm able to do so, and of course, I also have an idea of what I can do to make the project a reality. But if you ask me specifically what kind of game it will be, all I can say is the stage, it will be a Hideki Kamiya game. It's unclear if that project is the new Okami sequel, announced in development on the Games Awards this week. In the new interview, Kamiya and Koyama explained that the Clover's name of the studio has been interpreted as Sea Lovers, with 4 C's related to the 4 leaves of the plant. Only 3 seeds are set in stone: challenge, creativity, and craftsmanship. The 4th C is for the employees to decide upon themselves. In the previous interview, he stated that the previous Okami sales were a huge failure, and that had the game been successful, maybe Clover Studios would have continued. Little is known about the new game, however, besides the teaser, so right now all we can do is wait and see what he's going to bring out.
Yay!
So yeah, base Kamiya basically says, my artistic vision is not being respected. Nah, man, I'ma do my own thing.
Well, see, the fact that Okami's always been praised for how artistically beautiful it is. I mean,
We
you
need
don't
to
really
replay
see many games that are just beautiful like that.
It is indeed, and let me
So,
do a little bit of research while you're talking. Keep going.
Really excited to
I'm
get
really
this.
excited to see more of the art style.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
wanna
such an
see-
incredible art
I want
style,
to see
too.
more of
really
the
The story is fun. That's what it is.
characters of it, too.
Listen. The fact that in the first game, it's the Golden Fury
Ah,
and
that
Brown
explains
Rage.
So, let me give you guys an idea to what happened. Okami was released in 2006, April. In that same month, Tomb Raider Legends came out, Mother 3 came out, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion came out,
Oblivion. Oh.
The Godfather came out, Lego Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Need for Speed Carbon, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Dead Rising, the first one. The last Onimusha game, Dawn of Dreams, Age of Empires 2, new Super Mario Bros., Resident Evil Deadly Silence, Justice League Heroes, let's see what else came out. Dirge of Cerberus came out during that time.
Hey!
Yeah, X-Men the official game, Magical Star Sign, Valkyrie Profiles 1 and 2, and basically Okami came out at a time when some of the biggest titles of the PS2 were swinging at full force, and the fact that it was a game that has such a it was a very, let's be honest, gamers they are a superstitious and cowardly lot. They don't like to go outside of their comfort zone, and an blatantly Japanese game inspired by both action games and Legend of Zelda with the beautiful art brush style. I would not be surprised if many people saw it and they just dismissed it as another quirky game from Japan.
Their
Not
loss.
Yeah, obviously it was their loss, but sadly it doesn't translate to sales. And the original title for the Okami on the PS2 did not sell well at all. It did a little better for the Wii versions and the other releases, but ultimately it just didn't make enough to justify it back then, and that really messed with Clover, especially considering the sheer scope of the game resulted in a lot of time and sadly a lot of money. But you know what? We're in a different time now. People appreciate
But
different
the fact
games.
is, it has a cult following.
Oh,
Yes, the problem is cult followings don't keep studios alive.
Yeah, that is fair.
However, people know it better now. These games has had time to basically
And
plan
they're
its
rabid.
feet on the history of the world, and maybe this time, hopefully with the collaboration of Capcom, we can get some work done and have some proper appreciation for the
And the
arts here.
fans are rabid right
Oh, yeah,
now.
no, they're-
We are ready. We have been ready for
We are ready
Shut
to-
up
a long
and
time.
Take my money ready.
We are ready to unleash the Golden Fury.
Now my
Yes.
throat is
Again.
fucking killing me, so Mr. Arouse, this one seems like it works better for you. Please go ahead with it.
If you're sure about it, okay. All right, and I'll go ahead and I'll read the last one.
Should we have connected?
Should we have connected? I don't know. But he knows that you liked it.
I did right. Yes.
All right, and the last story Angel gave us comes to us by way of Games Radar, And the headline on this one reads, Hideo Kojima was told games don't need stories early in his career. So he read 300 books while making a single game to prove them
Wait,
wrong.
I'm sorry, but what do you mean games
do you
don't
tell
need
someone
stories?
Don't forget.
What is a game without a story?
When Kojima was starting making games, the most recent console was the PSX and
No,
1.
the MSX.
The MSX. Games were barely like anything besides entertainment at that point. Super Mario hasn't even come out at that point, did it? MSX? When did the MSX come out?
The MSX came out around the same time as the original Nintendo.
Okay, so we are very early in the
Close
history of
to-
video
whoa.
games.
Yeah, but the whole idea of video games don't need stories, that's preposterous. Even a game as simple as Pac-Man has a story.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. At that time, the story was just an excuse to get you from point A to point B.
Meh.
The most, even Mario himself, the big giant of video games, literally became, are you a bad enough dude to save the princess? Like, at the point where Kojima started making games, people saw the games solely as entertainment and no vehicle for anything else. Especially with the restrictions of hardware making it hard to put in a lot of dialogue. Like, Final Fantasy 1 was considered a miracle because they managed to cram a huge amount of text into a very small packet. So, at the time when they told him this, you're basically walking up to, like, how do I put this? Imagine that you just invented soda and somebody's telling you, you can put that shit on a 5-star restaurant.
And so he just goes ahead and puts it in a 5-star restaurant to prove them wrong. He builds a restaurant and designs a brand new soda that everyone loves just to prove the point.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right. And this one comes to us by way of Jordan Gerblick, published yesterday, December 20th, on Games Radar here. Everyone was against it. And yes, this is Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 4. No, I won't explain this image to you ladies any further. We're going to have to wait till we get to the game to find out what the hell is happening to him here. Okay, Hideo Kojima has opened up about what it was like being an early progenitor of story-focused video games, revealing he once read about 300 books, researching story details for a single game. In a recent episode of TBS Radio's After 6 Junction 2 podcast, timestamped here, in that link, Kojima relayed his experience as a young developer in which he faced opposition against his desire to spend time developing stories in video games. They were 2D with big pixels, and you could only move from side to side, Kojima said of video games at the time, but I saw their potential. I pushed back against everyone's opposition. There was no artistry. There was also no real story, so we wanted to be the ones to give it a story.
Absolutely no.
And there's the video link for that exact same interview.
He looks younger now. What the fuck?
How the hell does he look younger when he's older? He's 60-something.
It's like a reverse aging effect, like
He's like-
Benjamin Button.
No, he's gonna look
He's
like
Japanese.
that. Exactly.
That's why.
He's gonna look like that until he turns 70, and then he's just gonna shrink into a tiny old man.
I hope not. Kojima wasn't the first game developer to add stories to games, but he's definitely an early pioneer of exploring real-world themes and issues in games. Regardless, it sounds like a lot of his early days at Konami were spent making the case for the sort of narrative-heavy games he's now known for. We were trying because it didn't exist back then, but it was hard to make it a reality because everyone was against it, they told me. Games don't need stories, Kojima. Thankfully, Kojima persisted, saying he would often visit the library during work hours to, quote, to research things like plot settings against facing resistance from co-workers who felt stories weren't important in games.
Imagine being the guy that a bunch of nerds call fucking nerd.
Right? While Kojima would go on to create the beloved Metal Gear series at Konami, he first had some convincing to do. Not only was he up against resistance to the idea of story-focused games, he also had to convince the higher-ups of his vision for Metal Gear's gameplay. In fact, in a recently resurfaced 1999 interview reveals, it wasn't until Kojima showed his bosses the famous exclamation point feature in Metal Gear that they were sold on the idea. Kojima even said he was ready to quit Konami altogether at one point due to what he called, quote, passive-aggressive resistance.
For those who don't know, there is this bizarre culture in business in Japan where just saying no to something is... Well, they do everything they can just to say no to something, to the point that they won't even fire you as much as they'll just put you in a shitty position until you quit, because it's all about keeping appearances. And, well, when Konami was getting big with video games, like, the biggest thing they did at that point was Contra. And what's the story for Contra? Bad dudes, guns, fight the bad guys. The end. So you had this guy basically walking up to you and going, hang on, we could make art with this. And your first response is, okay, but can we make money? And he goes, yes.
Like,
I
that's-
don't know.
Like, I don't know. It sounds a little risky there to me. It sounds like you're talking crazy talk.
Notice how the only thing that stopped this from happening was the fact that if he hadn't shown that game mechanic, it's possible they would have said no, which means that we were this close to a timeline
We
where
were an
Kojima
exclamation
fucked
mark
off.
away from never having Metal Gear.
Literally a line and a period, or maybe he just could have gone off to make his own studio or something.
You mean kind of like how he did in 2015?
Oops.
Oopsie.
Huh, I guess it just took a while for karma to come around.
Well, that's what happens when Konami doesn't pay attention to their golden geese.
Honestly, this is not just Konami. This is fairly common. Many times in video game companies, like there's a lot of stuff that gets done and undone mainly because you gotta convince the superiors that it's worth a damn to put it there. And as a result, entire game franchises have come, gone, and become either successes or failures specifically because management either made or didn't make one very specific decision. There is a lot to it. I mean, shit, look at Square Enix. What do you think would have happened in a world where Final Fantasy 1 didn't succeed?
Because Final Fantasy was their last hope.
It literally was the Final Fantasy.
This is the last game. Hopefully it makes money.
16
And
Final Fantasies
now
later.
look where it is.
Okay, shit, never mind.
And like 9 sequels to one of the Final Fantasy games. 7.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves. There's like,
die. Seven needs to go away, so
or at least needs to
other
finish and
games
stuff, so
could,
we can
you
have
know,
like. Can we have Final Fantasy 17 yet?
They're probably working on
What
it
about
right
Final
now.
Fantasy 20?
They're already extracting
How
whatever's
about
left of
spin-offs?
the
Other
original
Final
soul.
Fantasy games.
20 is going to be a long, long time from now.
The funniest part
Good.
is
I want to be alive and breathing at
the
that point.
funniest part is that in one of the games that Square Enix made, Deus Ex Human Revolution,
Ooh, Deus Ex.
you can
Yeah.
see a blatant poster for Final Fantasy 23.
Ah!
And I'm like, I mean...
Nice.
alive by
It's
then.
not outside the realm of possibility.
Oh, no, it's
You
happening.
just need to be alive.
It's literally
You just
their
need to be
cash
alive
cow. They're
long
really
enough to-
not-
Guys,
Cyber
maybe it's going to
90s.
be when we're in our 80s or 90s, and then at that point it will be our final.
Finally,
Fantasy.
I can play video games again.
It wasn't like in our day, like in your days where you have the holograms and the implant on your.
You guys think
Do you have any
that
idea how hard it is to put a neural implant on these hands? I'm
Do
shaking
you guys
like a leaf in
think
the
they
wind.
will ever get to Final Fantasy
I
69?
hope not.
Oh, okay. Whoa, that's a little too ambitious there.
I don't know.
No, not ambitious enough.
No, see, Final Fantasy 69 will be the only one that will be R-rated.
Yeah,
And you
Final
think they're
Fantasy
gonna
69.
X-rated. X-rated.
and you think they're gonna put sex in it, but no, it's just for swearing. Everybody's just saying fuck all the time. It will be the Deadpool of Final Fantasies,
It would
Oh my god.
as opposed to Stranger of Paradise, which is like the Batman of Final Fantasies.
But that being said, of course, as fans, we are not one to question nor criticize the mind of any pioneer in video gaming who has helped revolutionize the industry, especially Hideo Kojima.
Simply at this point in his age, the only reason why he's not questioned now is because time has proven him correct.
Yeah, mind you, he had to establish himself first. If it was just some random guy, nobody would have believed. I mean, fun fact. As you know, Stellar Blade came out a while ago, and people were complaining about all the emphasis on Eve's beautiful body. And I'm like, you know...
Titty, Jiggle Physics, the game featuring the plot of Nier Automata.
And I'm like, you know, guys, Nier Automata got hit by the exact same allegations. The only reason why it survived is because people knew of his previous Yoko Taro's previous reputation with the
Yoko
Drakengard
Taro.
series. Imagine a world where Yoko Taro never made Drakengard, and this was his first game. I guarantee you it would have been hit by the exact same allegations.
And at that point, it would have been warranted.
Yeah.
And
And they
Yoko
call
Taro
him
was like, I
crazy.
noticed you're making too much porn of 2B. Stop sending it to me like this. Make a zip file, then send it to me. He actually said that.
Yeah.
Wait, seriously?
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You okay there, Dragon?
Also, and I know a little bit of it. Yoko Taro recently said that they were going to release a soundtrack of the... No, they're going to release a promotional item for Nier Automata. It's wine, which has been aged in a special cask that is connected to a sound system, and it just plays the soundtrack of the game on loop 24/7.
That
Hold
sounds
on.
really cool.
Hold on,
I
hold on.
want it.
Hold on, let me see if
It's
I'm
old news, but yeah.
Let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. Sorry. Are you telling me
Give it to me.
that Yoko Taro has announced that they're going to release a wine tied into Nier Automata, and the gimmick of it is that the wine was aged in a set of casks that have had the soundtrack of Nier Automata blasted directly into the wine?
24/7.
So you're drinking the music.
Yes.
I
You're
want it.
drinking the music of
You're
Nier
drinking
Automata.
the feelings.
And it's going to be wine.
Yeah.
I'll
How
take,
much is that going to go for?
I'll take 2.
Actually,
Do we have to worry about you, Dragon Fang?
let me do some research real quick.
Yoko Taro is freaking insane.
Near
and I love it.
Automata
We need more
wine.
people like
Yeah,
him.
how much
in the
is
gaming
it?
industry.
Yes, please.
I'm curious.
It
Send
is
us-
surprisingly cheap.
Send us the link
It's
in
only
the.
1,000 yen. It's about 80 per bottle.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
$80
okay,
Okay, that's
per
actually
bottle.
not that bad.
That's affordable.
Yeah, no,
All right,
send,
who wants to
send
give
me
me a
the
Christmas
send me the
present?
link to that, Angel.
They,
Unless you give me a
they also
Christmas
came with
present.
an exclusive glass featuring the lunar tier design frosting as a standard.
Oh!
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, check it.
snap. That's amazing.
Okay.
Thank you for that piece of information.
Okay,
there.
seriously,
Happy to
like
assist.
we need to actually. Okay, Dragon Fang, you have Angel's phone. Send us
I'll
that
send you the link
in
in
the
just
chat,
a minute.
like right now.
Yeah,
Dragon Fang.
Angel, let
Sweetheart?
Angel do it. Angel will send the link in the chat.
I love the name of the title, the article. Sorry, I only drink wine that was aged listening to the Nier Automata soundtrack now. The SE9S stands for sommelier.
Sommelier.
Yes. Ah,
Oh my God, you're
that is
kidding me. That is
amazing.
so.
You know what? That's a
whack.
great way to wrap up, man.
Okay, yeah, seriously, that's a good way to wrap.
And with that, we have reached the end of our program here in the Ravens Flock. And we appreciate all of you tuning in tonight. You guys have been very amazing on the chat as always. We appreciate your viewers. We appreciate all of you tuning in, and we hope you guys have a wonderful time next week. We hope you guys enjoy the holidays, and we hope you guys get a chance to spend it with your loved ones, whether it's family or friends, and just have a great time next week. Now, we're certainly not now. Just a couple of show announcements. You know, we're certainly not done with Shadow the Hedgehog.
No.
What?
Our journey
Apparently not.
We have like 5 more endings.
This idiot lied to us.
Wait
Nah.
a minute.
He said, "Oh, there's only a
Sis.
few endings over here."
Sis, we have
Okay.
5 endings left.
It's okay, because in order to make things more palatable for the public and our beloved friends, Mr. Casabona will be speeding his way off screen so we can get to the other endings faster and we can get back to the true ending, which means we have about 1 or 2 recording sessions at most before we are done with the journey of Shadow the Hedgehog. Now more edgy than before because we're doing the evil routes where we are... Wait, we kill Eggman.
We just did. Yeah, we just. That's one of the good guy endings.
Are you sure that's a bad guy ending?
It's so weird.
No, it was a hero ending.
It was a
weirdly
hero
enough.
ending.
Yeah, we killed Eggman. Fuck
Yeah, I
that
know.
guy.
We killed him off screen.
But
Karate
all
chop.
the same, I do hope that you will join us as we continue with the final steps of Shadow's journey as we fight to find out why he needs to keep collecting those goddamn Chaos Emeralds. Every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Los Amigos Play, broadcasted for you here at YouTube and Kick.
All right.
So then we can finally get to,
Yeah.
France and the plague.
Yeah.
The war
And the
economy.
rats.
Every
Right.
wine gets played a different playlist.
Oh my lord! This
One
is what
for
they-
9S,
hold on,
one for
can I
2B.
show them the thing because
Real
while
quick,
we-
bec-
yeah, this is what we were talking. I put the link in the chat itself.
I'm going to send
you the
Japanese link so they can see the pictures.
Yeah. Here you go. This is what we're talking about. Sorry, I only drink wine that was aged listening to the Nier Automata soundtrack now, and this is on rockpapershotgun.com. And yeah, apparently this is an actual thing, and apparently this is a real fucking thing that's going on. What the fuck is up with this advertisement?
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
it.
website is filled delivering with ads. Fair warning.
Fucking hell. Point is, folks, yeah, they actually have casks with music from the Nier Automata soundtrack blasted into the fucking wine cask.
That's awesome.
That is so stupid. I love it.
All right.
This
Well,
cannot
they
continue.
play-
Become as gods.
They play classical music to cows so they produce more milk. Maybe there's something to it.
Maybe.
You serious?
that happens.
All right. And now, for any pro wrestling fans out there, tune into my program, which is Wrestle Rewind, every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Kick. Join me and my tag partner, Mr. Juan Arauz,
Don't touch me.
as we review 3 of the most exciting pro wrestling programs in North America today: WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. For next week's edition of the Wrestle Rewind, which will be on the 26th, aka Boxing Day, we'll be doing our standard review, and we'll also be reviewing the main event of this year's Ring of Honor's Final Battle, which was on Friday, December 20th, at the historical Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, which featured the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, the Forever Champion, the Goddess Athena, defending her championship against Billy Starks, where the women wrestlers of Ring of Honor are highlighted in the main event. And we hope to see you next week.
That's going to be crazy, I suppose. But yeah, no, it's official. We're going to have to get our hands on this goddamn Nier Automata wine. They're only $80 a bottle.
Surprisingly cheap, all things considered.
I'll take 2.
Listen, when I take that first step, I better experience existential dread and sadness that makes me want to fuck sexy woman robots. Otherwise, I'm refunding
What
that
the
shit
fuck?
immediately.
Please wrap us up.
You guys brought this up. It's
Wait, does that mean that
Hold
Chris
on.
and I have to dress up
Yora
while we drink
number
it?
Oh, no, check it out.
Yeah.
Yora
Could be a
number
9S.
2, type
Type
B.
B. Yeah.
So
And Yora
there's a
number-
2B
9S.
and there's a 9S.
Does that mean that Sis and I have to dress up as
You
2B
might
and
as well.
9S?
Yes.
I mean, you did send me that picture. You look pretty good.
I kind of need more hooker boots for TV.
Oh my god.
Maybe you should actually get accurate boots and not hooker boots.
Get the sword.
They gave me hooker boots.
I have
instead of
brought
that.
That's why you
enlightenment
get
upon the
normal.
procedures.
Angel has brought cultural enrichment to the program, eh?
Once you
Also-
get stepped
I
on.
think you would be proud of him. but
Guess who else is gonna go see the Sonic movie in just a few moments?
Mr. Kojima?
No, my
Who's
little bro.
Oh, hey,
Toy
Toy
Slasher.
Slasher.
Yay.
Awesome, yay. And of course, there's my program to start our week off, which is the Black Files, the uncensored and uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. Normally on this program, as you can see, we cover a whole wide swath of stories spanning the spectrum of nerd and geek culture, but on the Black Files, we just focus on one story and we zero in on the topic and we go as hard as possible on it. As you can tell, we did a bit of a follow-up when it came to the arrest of the alleged CEO shooter, Luigi Mangione. Innocent until proven guilty, folks.
And we also talked about Donald Trump's latest dabbling in freaking Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, no.
Of course.
Oh yeah, no. You, Angel, you missed out on the most ridiculous thing here.
I mean, it's cryptocurrency. Of course, it was ridiculous. I'm not surprised. But
Like
Really?
we like
Really?
I actually
really,
went in. And I wasn't even, I was trying to minimize talking about how much of an idiot Trump is in this, and just to focus on the fact that A, cryptocurrency is stupid as shit, B, trying to buy $100 billion worth of Bitcoin over the span of 5 years is
the math.
mega stupid.
of course.
And C, trying to use it as a strategic reserve of some kind for our government's economy, for our nation's economy, will inexorably tank the dollar's value as we know it.
No, but you don't understand, Juan.
It's on the blockchain.
It's the future.
bro.
No, it's not.
Listen, here's an idea.
Yeah.
What if I make money that has no legal tender and its entire value is based on reputation alone? Surely nothing can possibly go wrong with nobody to control the. Oh God, everything's gone wrong.
Yeah, I'd laugh at
Who
you
could have
for.
thought?
I would laugh at you for 30 minutes, and then afterwards, I'll send you a picture that says "Go fuck yourself" with a picture of me mooning you.
Don't forget that picture would actually have to be a solid picture. Otherwise, I would just put that on the blockchain too. I'll call it the moon coins.
Oh my
I have ideas.
Like the point is, we actually went and spent the majority of the episode just trying to break down and educate folks on why it's such a bad idea to have anything in the government deal with cryptocurrency other than regulating and saying what the rules are.
Yeah.
Because if we don't have any actual set of ruling,
Then it's just fucking Fight Club. There's just no rules.
Exactly.
And you can't pay people with
Exposure.
You can't.
No,
you can't
yeah,
pay
no, you can
people.
pay them in exposure before you can pay them in Bitcoin.
It's an idea not well thought out.
I expose you to Botcoin. You are now radiation poisoning.
Just like Ligma. So if you guys like this kind of stories where we go in depth in the world of nerd and pop culture, and this is popular culture as much as we may or may not like it, then be sure to request access as we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Kick for the Black Files.
All right, and of course, tune into our main show, the #1 show on our channel, The Ravens Flock, which is every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube at Kick. Join me and my motley crew of nerds as we're gathered here every weekend to discuss with you the latest news and topics circulating in the world of geek culture. Whether it's a slow week, a busy week, or even a dead week, no matter how many times we have to revive the Superman character in the cinematic medium, there's always something to talk about. And it's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's just different nerd topics, and we'll be here to share with each and every one of you. Now, once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in. You guys have been fantastic tonight, and this is something that we've been doing for a very long time, working hard and staying strong to make
Your voice, our mission.
With that being said, Juan, plug us away.
Don't mind if I do. Folks, thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of the Ravens Flock, hosted by Jose Casabona, Angel Mendes, Dragonfang Cosplay, Zayana Rose Cosplay, Kenny Storm Cosplay, and yours truly, Juan Arouse, as we bring you the latest news of the world of geek culture, nerd culture, pop culture, and everything in between, working hard, staying strong, making your voice our mission. Join us as we go live every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe to the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an inner flock by hitting the join button, and until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock.
Guys,
Question.
Yes,
We're about to
Jonathan.
wrap up. What's
well,
up?
I don't think we can have
Next-
Black Files next week. That's
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Christmas is
Oh yeah,
Wednesday.
no, I didn't say anything about having an episode
We
of the Black
never
Files
said
this
anything
Wednesday.
about
Okay,
it,
okay.
dude.
Okay, that was my question.
You're fine.
No,
Now-
no. By the way, folks, no Black Files this coming week because it's Christmas Day. Fuck that! I'm going to spend my Christmas
It's Christmas.
in peace.
Yes.
It's Christmas.
With that being said, we thank you all for tuning in. Nerds watching all over the internet, we are the Ravens Flock, and happy holidays to all of you. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, bag.
Oh.
You went fast and it was awesome.